What's good, everyone? What's good? Yeah, I haven't been live in a minute. So I'm gonna just jump right into it. I might wait a few minutes depending on how I'm feeling. But you guys already see the title. Um, yeah, it's gonna be one of those videos. Um, but it's not gonna be like my other videos because what I like everything that I'm gonna say in this video is 100% fact, and you can't refute it, you can't deny it, and this is the truth that we all have to wake up to. This is not just me ranting. This is not just me just talking shit because like a lot of you guys think when I talk shit, you guys think I'm just doing this shit just for jokes and I'm just doing it just cuz like I'm angry or like I have an Aries moon. Like I really this is just I just a naturally passionate person. So people would think and I also have a Mercury in Aries. So when I come across and I speak, it could come across as very aggressive and negative, but it's really not. I'm really just it's all in good intentions. But like when I say that all human beings are retarded and no human being is spiritual, I'm saying this based on you can go out in reality and see this. Like every human being is based on conditional circumstances. So people will talk a good game and run their fucking mouth based on conditional circumstances. A lot of people will sit here and talk about how um like you'll see all these spiritual people talking about how human beings, they're lost in their desires and they're lost in this, but then they still eat, they still consume food. And I'm not saying I don't eat and I don't consume food, but at the end of the day I'm also saying that I'm not fucking perfect. Anybody that's saying that they're perfect and that they're spiritual, because there ain't nobody spiritual in this world. This world is done. This world is over. Like the Masons, the elites, they won right now. I'm not saying we can't win, but at least probably for the next 100 or 1,000 plus years, they've got this shit on lock unless they make a mistake or unless people wake up. And the odds of people waking up are very slim. So this world is fucking over. Like people are fucking lost. Like anybody, especially those stupid dumb Anunnaki niggers talking about fucking all that other dumb shit, talking, oh, the white man's gonna fail and the system's gonna fail. Bitch, let me tell you guys something. There's a program that they are running, and they're and any influencer that's talking about it, they're putting them in the algorithm so it can make it look like this is the reason. Anybody talking about the system collapsing is a fucking idiot. They're putting people in the algorithm who talk about that because these fucking idiots, these people that are speaking about it, they're helping the elites maintain control. Because it's like if I tell you we got to build a house and you keep talking about we're gonna build this house, we're gonna build this house. If we don't go get the fucking resources and the bricks and the water and the tools to build the fucking house, then the house isn't gonna get built. So take that into the system. If the system's gonna collapse and we have 99 over 99% of the world fucking retarded, you see how this thing is honking? Oh my god, dude. We have over 99% of the world fucking retarded, then how the hell do you think people are gonna wake the fuck up? You see how this shit is doing this shit right now? I was making a video and the same fucking horn was fucking honking. And as soon as I fucking do a live stream, this shit starts honking. This shit is fucking ridiculous, man. Like I would literally go over there and break their fucking window and make your car honk for real and make it an emergency if that shit keeps doing it. I swear I will really do that. I don't really give a fuck. You see how it's doing it again? I'm so close to actually going to go throw a bottle of piss at this fucking car. Where's this fucking car at? Throw this. I'm gonna throw this fucking bottle. I was gonna make sure. I was about to go and make sure nobody was in that fucking car. I was about to throw that fucking bottle at that fucking car, break that fucking window. I swear to God, you guys would have seen me do it. You guys already know. I don't really give a fuck. Stupid ass motherfuckers. But hold on, I'm about to do this shit. I told you guys I'll do it. I'm about to get the fuck up out of here. I don't know if they were in the. I don't know if they were in the car. I'm about to get the fuck up out of here. I think they seen because like the car stopped, so they must have pushed the alarm. Stupid faggot motherfucker! Turn that ugly ass fucking Kia. Broke ass nigga got a 2024 Kia. You think you rich? Bitch, it's a fucking Kia. That raggedy ass piece of shit. You probably got that shit on fucking credit. That bitch probably you leasing a fucking Kia. You should have just saved your fucking money and invested and stacked the fuck up, broke ass nigga. See how hold on. I have to find my fucking keys, dude. Where the fuck is my goddamn key? Oh, there it is. Fucking leasing a fucking broke ass Kia, nigga. That ugly ass shit. Get the fuck up out of here. But like, this system is done. There's nobody who's spiritual. Ain't nobody spiritual. You gotta do right now in this time. Ain't nobody spiritual. Because think about it, what's your definition of spirituality? What's your definition of spirituality? What the fuck is your definition? Tell me the definition of spirituality. What you guys have in your mind, that ain't fucking spiritual. What you have in your mind of spirituality, that's not fucking spirituality. That's your perception of spirituality. Just like if a fucking woman goes to a fucking man and says that man looks attractive, that's her fucking perspective. If you go to another man that's straight and say, do you think that man's attractive? He's going to say no because that's his perspective. So I like to break things down like ABC because there's a lot of dumb niggas who don't understand what perspective is and they're lost in a perspective not knowing what is the truth. So by me saying all that, people think spirituality is what it's fucking not. People think spirituality has something to do with how much fucking YouTube they watch and how much knowledge. So everybody's basing a bunch of shit, and a lot, like 99% of the shit you know is only because you're aware of it. Not even 99, 100% of the shit you know, because like I said, nobody's spiritual. So everything that everybody knows, they're only aware of it. That's how come they know it. Like you'll see some stupid old fucking greasy Cheeto finger licking fuckhead talking about, oh, the Illuminati and they're trying to control the world. I'm like, nigga, shut your stupid ass up, nigga. Where the fuck you get that information? You have to get it off YouTube because you're not smart. You're a dingy ass, crusty ass, fucking fat finger licking fuck. So you didn't come up with that in your mind. You have to go on YouTube, you stupid son of a bitch. So shut your ass up. So they'll sit there and say that and think they're spiritual. They think they know something. But then the moment you put them in their desires, the moment you do something to their nervous system, then they end up acting a certain way. This is why you'll see a lot of these people in your life, and then they'll be talking a good game, or they'll be speaking, or they'll be cool one minute, and then the next minute they changed up and they switched up. Like, why did this nigga switch up? It's because these are weak humans. Because the average human being is weak. Every human being is weak. Every human being is flawed. So when I say this, is because every human being has a nervous system. If you have a nervous system, you are fucking flawed. Because if something happens to you, like for example, if you go to a human being and he's happy, and he's walking with his kids, if you kidnap one of his kids, he's gonna start getting angry and upset. And before all you stupid asses say, oh, you're supposed to get angry and upset. That's not the point. Obviously, you're supposed to get angry, but the principle of the fact of the matter is, he's getting angry over an emotion he can't control. So therefore, as a human being, he's weak. So I take this in all perspectives. When you sit there, you guys may say, "Oh, I'm cool with this person," or like me, for example, we're all cool. You watching my channel, but if we were all in a room and we were starving to death, and we weren't on breatharian, we'll be trying to kill each other for that last piece of food. See, human beings ain't shit. So when you hear people talk a good game, all these financial gurus, oh, everything's good. It's about financial freedom. We got to, man, shut your stupid ass up, nigga. If the government shut money off and made it where you have to survive and you have to It was about just being you, and if you were a breatharian and you not needing shit, and whoever is closest to being that or is gonna be the one that survives. A lot of these people talking all this financial shit and oh peace, love, and light, or I'm spiritual and being a shut your ass up, nigga. If you'll be suffering, you'll be in your fucking animal instincts, bitch. So this is why I say all human beings, they're not shit. And then people want to talk about the system's gonna collapse. But it's like, bitch, how the fuck is the system gonna collapse? The system has to collapse if people wake the fuck up, you stupid, dumbass, retarded son of a bitch. You fucking bozo headed clown. You fucking finger licking, robot chicken watching faggot. The fuck? Somebody has to, in order for the system to collapse, people have to wake the fuck up. I can't build a house if we don't build the fucking house. I can't scratch my ass if I don't fucking scratch my ass. You stupid idiot. So they say the system's gonna collapse. How is the system gonna collapse if we have everybody out here a fucking retard? This system ain't gonna collapse unless people wake up. And you don't see nobody waking up. The world is getting worse. You got people complaining about inflation. One thing you guys gotta understand, anybody that's complaining about inflation, they're not complaining about inflation. They're complaining that they have to spend money. That's the real. Nobody wants to spend money, which is good. But you have all these dumbasses say, "Oh, the price of food's going up." Bitch, what do you mean the price of food? First of all, finances and prices, that's all man-made. If somebody says an apple costs $30, who are you to debate that? An apple shouldn't even cost a penny. An apple is from the ground. It's nature. It's free. So if a man says this apple is 5 cents and you say that's a good price, no, it's not. It's stupid. Why are you paying 5 cents for an apple? But if the government says this apple's $30, oh, that's too much. No, it's not, bitch. They created money. If they created money, they can price the apple however much you want. This is why you stupid asses have to pay taxes, because you're using their system and you don't want to wake the fuck up. So if you're using their system to make their money, because you didn't create that job, they created that job for you. So when you pay taxes at that job and your dumbass don't want to wake up, that's the taxes you're paying. So if the fucking government says this apple is going to be worth $50, at the end of the day, either if you're going to complain, your complaint should be not participating and we making our own system. That's the best complaint. Complaining that the apple should be worth $3 instead of $50. You're a fucking dumbass. Shut your stupid ass up, you fucking idiot. Money is fake. It's man-made. A bird doesn't use money. A squirrel, a cow, or whatever the fuck animal out here. Ugly ass fucking creatures walking around this nasty ass dirty rock we call Earth. They don't use money. So if they don't use money, that means money must be something man-made. So if a man says this tree is this fucking item or this product is worth $50 and you say it's worth $7, who the fuck are you to say it? Because you didn't create the whole system of money, bitch. Money is a system that was created by them. So who are you to debate how much something is worth? If you don't like the price of it, learn how to grow and harvest it yourself and create your own. But human beings don't want to do that. They want to just bitch and complain. So in reality, when you hear people bitching about inflation, they're not complaining about the price. They're complaining about why they have to buy something. Because I sell things on OfferUp, and I just got into eBay reselling. So I go like to certain places that I get things and I will sell them. And I even go I'll go to thrift stores and buy certain things for like very cheap, and then I'll resell it on eBay. I just got into that recently, and it's been working pretty good. I'll go into that later, there'll be things that I will sell, and there'll be very good deals. Like let's just say there'll be something that's $100. I'll get it at a very low price where I can sell it for $40 and make over 80% profit, or a huge percent profit, and sell it cheaper than what it's originally worth. People will still complain that that's too expensive. So this is what I'm saying. It's nothing, because I remember there was one time I told my grandma, like, things are more expensive. And this was like back in the probably like a few years ago. I was like, things are more expensive today. And she's like, yeah, it is. And I'm like, was it more expensive compared to 2001? And she says, no. In 2001, things were still expensive. They just weren't expensive as now. So when you hear all these stupid ass people complaining about, oh, things were cheaper back in the day. No, it wasn't, bitch. It was never cheaper. If you a nigga and you grew up in a nigga community, you always do about how black people complain about how much shit is. Remember in Friday? Remember in that movie Friday? how fucking Smokey, his mom, she's like, go to the store, give me some cigarettes. And then she gave him $1. And he's like, this is not enough. He's like, make it enough. That was in the 90s, and niggas was still complaining about how much money costs. And the crackhead out the street, the fucking crackhead in Friday, how he was all begging for money and shit. Let me wash your car, and he would slip. And nigga, it's always been a problem. So niggas try to tell you, oh, times are better back then. Shut your ass up. Human beings are never satisfied. That's the thing. So people, it's like that saying, you never enjoy what you have until it's gone or some shit. That's pretty much what it is. So people will bitch and complain about how something is right now, but back then they were still bitching and complaining, but they don't remember it because it's gotten so bad. They just wish they were back then. So human beings ain't fucking shit. Human beings is fucking retarded. So, and I'm not saying like, oh, I'm sticking up for the government, because nigga, fuck the government. If anybody on this fucking bitch, you guys already know I fucking hate this system. I already showed you niggas a whole bunch of shit I don't need to go into. Nigga, I don't give a fuck about this fucking system. I really don't like it. If anything, like, you can't even mix me up for sticking up for the government, or because if you actually look at the message I'm trying to tell you guys, is people need to wake the fuck up, which I already know that's not gonna happen, because this world, it's a wrap, it's done. That's why I named this title the video. This world is done. It's over. They literally won. I don't want to say they won the war, but they won the battle. And this battle probably is gonna last for probably close to 1,000 years. Maybe in the next fucking 1,000 years or a few hundred years, people will wake up. But like right now, they won the war. Right, they won the battle right now, because everyone's fucking lost. And it's not even them. You really can't blame them. It's people don't want to wake up. People are just so like people want life to be a certain way, but it's not. So they're trying to force it to be that way. Like, and it's never gonna happen. Shit is crazy. This shit is crazy, man. It's like the synchronicity is so crazy. This can't be a coincidence. It's funny how that shit kept beeping. I threw that fucking bottle at it. It was just like a little water bottle I threw at that shit. And it's funny, when I threw it, that shit stopped beeping. He's like, you always have spiritual synchronicities. I'm telling you guys, like, it's just crazy. This because you're not in control of your life. You're really not fully in control of your life. So this is why you have all these synchronicities, because you're not 100% in control of your life. Even, and then people will sit there and say that, oh well, I manifested this and I became this, so I am. Shut your stupid ass up, nigga. For you to think that being in control of your life means that good things can't happen to you just shows how fucking stupid you are. Just, even if I became a billionaire tomorrow and I got superpowers and whatever human beings think is good happened to me tomorrow, that doesn't mean I controlled it, you fucking idiot. Because obviously I had to do something for it to actually attract and manifest to come my way, you fucking retard. So having a good or bad life, you can have a perfect life. That doesn't mean you're in control of it 100%, you dumbass. It's like if I fucking pour water on my face is gonna get wet. I can't pour water on my face and my face turns dry. So, bitch, that's not fucking free will, you fucking idiot. Like, people don't use your common sense, and that's a very like small, very vague example of what I'm trying to get you guys to understand about free will. So don't look at that. Oh, it's common sense. Shut your dumb ass up. That's an example that we don't have free will. But for those who know, you guys know. This shit is fucking hilarious. But yeah, this world is done, guys. Like, it's a wrap. This is gone. It's done. It's done. It's done. How did the motherfuckers say it? It's Donitos. I don't know how the fuck they say it. The fuck is that? I thought that was a motherfucking car. Because it was a black car, but that's an Acura. The other one was a cheap ass Kia. Nigga, fucking, you got a fucking credit payment, a lease payment on a goddamn Kia. You could have just saved that money, you stupid ass nigga. Probably a motherfucker with like 2 kids, 3 kids. 3 worthless ass kids. I seen this fucking bitch with 3 kids and she had a fucking belly. And like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, it made me realize, like, all the people having kids nowadays, 99% of them are retarded ass spirits. And so because as a spirit, before you come into this world, you choose the parents and how you're going to get down here. So any powerful spirit, I don't even think is coming down here right now. Pretty soon there's no powerful spirits that are going to come down here, because there's no, like, the parents are fucking retarded. Because if you come down through one of these parents and the government's like, we have to give you guys another little shot, whatever, then how was that spirit could even make it without getting sick or some type of like repercussion from getting that? Because the stupid ass parents are gonna have to make the decisions to give them that, and the kid can't say I don't want to get this. The kid doesn't have no say in anything. So like, only because anybody who's intelligent isn't having kids now. So when you see somebody with kids, there's a highly chance, because we're in a time right now where if you're not spiritual, there's no opportunity for you. The only opportunity there is for people who are spiritual. And when I say, I don't even want to say spiritual, because there is no spiritual people, but if you're following your spiritual path, and over 99% of people they don't even know they have a spiritual path. So it's easy to say 100% of kids being born have no opportunity in life. For the most part, over 99% of kids, damn near 100% of kids, they have no opportunity. Because what opportunity do they have? Like, you look at it like this: there's homeless bum ass people, there's people who are fucking retarded wage slaves working at shitty jobs, they hate their life, and it's 2024. So when these people were like 5 years old back in the 90s, they had more opportunity than they did now. And look where they ended up in 2024. So look at the opportunity now in 2024. Where do you think they're going to end up in the next 30, 40 years? Most likely in a virtual reality, fake ass world, or probably have an illness with a lot of disease because they're eating all this 3D printed shit and all the poison that they're going to be doing with the foods. Like, it's ridiculous. And it's to a point now where like the government, it's going to get to a point, if people keep getting dumb, the government's going to be allowed to just kill people without no karma. It's going to get to that point. Like, this is why they bombed the bridge, and then they did like 9/11, and they do a whole bunch of shit, and they do all these wars, is because they can get away with it because people are fucking stupid. If people were aware and intelligent, the government would have karma based on what they do. So this is why, like, they're able to poison the foods and kill people and kill babies and do all this shit, because these babies and these people and these situations are fucking retarded. So karmically, they can get away with it. It's like, if somebody comes and tries to shoot me and I shoot them back, I won't get in trouble because it's self-defense. So if you have a stupid ass population of people and they're not onto anything spiritual, if the government does some fuck shit to them, they're not doing it to anybody special, because those people aren't spiritual. They're just doing it to a bunch of grunts and gremlins who aren't shit. So the karma is not going to be as much. This is why they were able to bomb that bridge and kill all those people and do all this shit and then poison the food and then they just give you a lawsuit. Oh, here's $3 million of this fake ass money I'm printing, and their hands is clean. It's because people are fucking stupid. You see, there's another horn. It's because people are stupid. Because that's what I'm saying. It's because people don't wake up. The government's going to be allowed to just take everybody out and just fucking just do whatever the fuck they want. And it's really, at the end of the day, it's like, what it won't. Looking at it from that perspective, it's bad, but it isn't. It's bad as in they're not giving people a chance to wake up, but it's not bad because it's like, if you're just a lazy fuck who doesn't want to do anything, let's just say you had a house and somebody came and squatted at your house. You're gonna want them out of your house because they're not paying no rent, they're not doing shit. So you're gonna get rid of them. But if they had a purpose in the house, then you getting rid of them will actually backfire because they were helping you. And I'm not saying we need to help the government. Fuck the government, because we don't even need to help the government. If we had our own system and said fuck the government and did our own shit, even if they did something to us, it will still have karmic repercussions. So we can say fuck the government and do our own shit, create our own community, and they still couldn't do shit to us because what we're doing that has nothing to do with them, but it's still righteous within the energetic field of what we are in and shit. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's not like we gotta do something to impress. Like fuck the government, fuck them niggas, them child fucking faggots. Like who cares about them? But it's about us waking up to our own power and shit, doing our own shit. But like I said, there's no point in me talking like that because everybody's it's a wrap. It's over. It's over. Like it's over. They've succeeded. One thing the government did do, and anybody that says anything otherwise, they're in denial and shut your stupid ass up. The government, they did succeed at dividing the people. They whatever the fuck they did, they succeeded. They got an A+ at that. When it comes to dividing people, men and women, different races, they succeeded. They got an A+ at that. As far as right now, it can change, but as far as right now, they succeeded. And anybody that says they didn't, they're in fucking denial. Just like a stupid, raggedy, dank ass bitch who got her ass beat, half near killed, and she's like, "Oh, I still love him. He's a good man." That's how you stupid niggas sound, thinking that, oh, the system's gonna collapse soon. Like, shut your ass up, bitch. Ain't shit collapsing, nigga. Like, you guys stupid. Like, even when people talk about, oh, the housing market, the economy's gonna collapse. Housing market ain't gonna collapse. Economy's not gonna collapse. It's collapsing for a certain percentage. There's like 80% people that aren't are of a certain demographic. The economy collapsed from them. The economy didn't collapse. It's only collapsing for a certain demographic. All they have to do is restructure the economy where it's catered to the rich people and leave the fucking lower demographic out, and they still have their economy. Because you guys got to understand, economy, money, it's a man-made thing. So if I make if I do something that's man-made, like let's just say I pick up this bag, and I put it down. I'm responsible for picking it up and putting it down. I can't pick it up and then say that some spiritual energy is gonna put down the bag with me still holding the bag or some shit. Like the bag is gonna be remain until I put it down, unless somebody kills me, or shoots me. But if that's the case, if for the government's example, if the people wake up, then the economy will collapse. That's the only way that people will collapse. If we kill the government, aka like if I'm holding the bag, I would have to put the bag down, or somebody would have to kill me. Somebody killing me is equated to the fact of the people waking up and not believing in the government shit. Me putting the bag down is me doing some man-made shit. So if the economy collapses, it's either going to collapse because the government wants it to collapse, or people wake up and stop participating. Other than that, the economy is not an ecosystem. It's not like a natural ecosystem where it just happens randomly. No, it's man-made. It's not like it's nature or some shit where you can't control it. Because even science is man-made. And if you look at any science theory, it observes reality and tries to see the same thing happen into reality over and over. And when it happens into reality, they call that a theory. You see what I'm saying? The economy is man-made. So the economy, it's the same thing happening. If anything happens that's not normal, it's somebody did something who created it, or people stop participating in it. But when it comes to nature, that has nothing to do with what a human being thinks or what a government thinks. It just happens. But science, they try to capitalize on that and try to create science theories, which it doesn't make sense, because even when you have science theories, they eventually have to rewrite the theory, because nature doesn't always do the same thing over and over. It always switches up. It may do it a long time for people to make a theory, but eventually they're gonna have to change the theory. So it's the same fucking thing. Like, you see, that's what I'm saying. Like, people don't understand that shit. So when you say economy's gonna collapse, that's all fucking fake. They want you to believe that so they can have you thinking that you can just be comfortable and be waiting. But you watch what I tell you guys. You're going to be waiting till you're like 50, 60 years old. And then by the time you get to 50 or 60, ain't shit going to change. And then you're going to be like, oh, I'm almost about to die and ain't nothing changed. You're going to be wasting your fucking life trying to wait for shit to, like, look at it right now. It was 2024. Back in 2017, people were saying that shit's going to collapse. Already fucking 7 years passed. And niggas were talking about this shit. And I'm not saying it's not going to collapse, as in, because
If it does collapse, it's either two ways. It's either because people wake up or they collapse it on purpose. And if they collapse it on purpose, they're going to just make a new one. And if they collapse it on purpose, it's not going to be good for you. It's going to be obviously for their narrative. Dumbass. That's what I'm saying. Like, people don't get that shit. This is why you see all these people who got like who are in the algorithm talking about how this system could collapse. Remember back in 2021, there was a so-called food shortage. Even me, I was making videos. I went into fucking the Dollar General and I was like, oh, look at the empty grocery store shelves. Fast forward 3 years later, every fucking shelf is full with food. And you notice how everybody's talking about breatharianism, eating once a day, getting rid of GMOs. People are talking about them more, and you see how they putting food in the fucking in the grocery stores now because they know people are onto something with this breatharian and this eating less. So they're like, let's just put the food to make people not get into that no more. Because if they had the same, and I'm not saying they won't ever do another food shortage, but you guys got to see what's going on. It's all fake. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's all fake. Remember all that stocking up on food? Do you hear people talk about stocking up on food? You don't hear about that no more. Wherever happened is stocking up on food. Remember, oh, you need 30 years worth of food in your bunker. You don't hear nobody speaking about 30. You hear people talking about how trying to eat less and how I don't even eat that much. You see what I'm saying? Wasn't we back in 2019, 2020, around that era? Everyone's talking about stocking up on food. You don't hear nobody speaking about it unless you're literally watching like bunker channels and you're in that industry. But every spiritual person and their mother was talking about that dumbass shit. Stocking up on food. And have your food. No one speaks on that shit. Because the energy is different now. I'm telling you guys, like the energy is different. Like right now, like this is why like the news, like everyone's on social media right now. Everybody's watching fucking content creators. So the energy, we're in a different energy now. This is why like there was this fucking news article, and I guess because like the news is so fake right now, they know nobody takes the news seriously. So like there was, I guess it was one of the presidents. I forgot. I think it was a vice president or some shit. They were walking out of a restaurant, and somebody asked them a question about like some war in Israel, and then their response was so like childish. It wasn't even about the war. They were just like acting silly. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, damn. It's like because anything that comes out of the politician's mouth, even if it sounds professional, nobody believes it. So at this point, they don't even try no more. They just talk. They just talk shit and they troll. So they were pretty much trolling the news reporters when the news reporter asked them a question about the war, because it's like the news. First of all, if you're a news reporter asking any politician about anything about this system, you're a fucking idiot. So for the politician to say some smart remark and troll you, everybody was looking at the politician like, oh, the politician's not taking it seriously. And it's like, no, the news reporter's not taking it seriously. He's the fucking idiot. It's like, why would you, it's like you go and ask a rapist, why are you raping? Why are you raping? Why you like to rape? It's like, why would you ask him that fucking shit? Like, he knows what the fuck he's doing. Like, why would you ask a politician a dumbass, stupid question that they know the answer to? They're a fucking liar. Their means to the whole point of a politician is to pretty much be a puppet for the people who are really running shit, whether they know it or not. That's all it is. So when you ask them a question and you expect a serious response, you're a dumbass. So at this point, everybody should know that. And the people who run the media, they know everybody knows that. So this is why they troll a lot more on the news networks as before, back in like 2001 when they had Al Gore and all that other faggots running and shit. Now remember they had Al Gore and Bush. They had like two old ass crackers running that shit. Now they have to have like a fucking faggot trans motherfucker, a nigga, or a Mexican or a female. They gotta change it up because they can't have the old shit playing no more. Even when they have, like, a lot of you guys may say they have Biden, but Biden's like, even with the shit he said, like, you're not black if you don't vote for him. Plus, he looks fucking like he has dementia. He looks retarded. It looks like something's wrong with his brain. Like, he don't look sane. So just his looks and how he acts and how old that motherfucker is, like, it's not the same energy. So they have to ask somebody different. That's why they put that nigger Obama in office, because they have to switch it up to get people hooked. That's why they put a black person to get you hooked. They keep putting a, like, even like in the city I'm in, like the city that I'm in, it's kind of like lower income, and it's a lot of like a certain demographic of people. The mayors that they had like a young black kid, like a black kid in his 20s, in his early 30s, and they had a Mexican as the mayor. And then, like, when I go to these other cities that are more influential, they would never have no nigga as no fucking mayor. Is because they have to get people participating in politics. If they have an old white cracker as a politician for a certain city, then the people will see all the injustices in that city as it's racist and we need to stand up. But once they see a nigger or a fucking motherfucking Mexican as the motherfucking the leader of that city, it's gonna make them think that subconsciously they're not gonna look at it in a certain way, the way they don't want people to look at it. So they have to make you kind of, oh, we're just like you when we're running the city, and we're gonna try to get things better. Like, it's all a fucking mind game. Shit is crazy. But like, this world is done. Like I said, like this world is done, guys. I'm telling you guys, like, this shit is done. I'm through. Like, I've lost hope, and you guys already see how time is speeding up. It's going how they say it, exponentially fast. It's going extremely fucking fast. And we're going into Gemini season. Saturn's gonna be squaring Sun. So that's next month. So it's about to be like, it's about to be, I don't want to say hell, but it's gonna be a little bit more real. Shit's gonna get more real. So you guys got to be prepared and shit, like, cause I feel like we're at the end times, and when I say end times, I literally mean it. Like, when I say end times, I'm like, life is almost over. Like, you, like, a lot of you guys, your life is almost over, and I don't mean it like you're gonna die tomorrow. I mean it as a, like, if you say, let's just say you want to live to be 80 years old, that's the age expectancy. 80 years is gonna, let's just say you're 25, so 80 years is about 60 years, 55 years. That's going to come by extremely fast. So this is the end times, because end times, it means it's the end of time. Time is speeding up. So in the next 10 years, it's going to go by, because look at, we just left the pandemic. That was 4 years ago, when everybody had that fucking Daffy Duck costume on over their fucking face and all that bullshit, and they put us in timeout and we couldn't do anything. That was 4 years ago. But if you go back to 2020, 4 years from 2020 was 2016. Remember? That shit seemed like forever from 2016 to 2020. But why does 2020 seem like it was just yesterday, where they had everybody on that fucking costume in timeout? So this is what I'm saying. This is the end times. It's the end of time, because time is not gonna exist like you guys know it. They talking about, because anytime something happens in reality, the government has to try to make a distraction to make people not believe in it. So they said, I seen this article, or it was something. I don't know where I seen it at. It was a video, but I don't know what the fuck it was about. But it was like, it was a news article about something, and it was about how in 2028 they're gonna do a leap year second, or a second's leap year, whatever the fuck it is. They're gonna have to do something with the time, where they're gonna have to take away or add a second to some shit. I don't know what the fuck, but they're pretty much acknowledging that time is speeding up, and then by the year 2028, they're gonna have to do something, because time's gonna be going by so quick. So that's the end times. It's the end of time as you know it. That's what they mean, end times. Like, time, how it's speeding up. So everything is gonna be in the presence. So it's like, you can't explain it, because it's like, time is speeding up right now, but 10 years ago, you couldn't understand how fast time is going right now. If somebody took you back to 2001 and said time is going to be going by fast in 2024, you couldn't grasp it with your mind. You'd be like, what do you mean? Like, time is time. I'm in time now. So in the next 10, 15 years, time is going to be in a different way that you can't explain it. You have to experience it for it to be. Just like in the Matrix movie, they say the Matrix can't be experienced unless you're in it. You can't experience the Matrix unless you're in it. You can't explain it to somebody unless you're in it. It's the same with life. You can't describe life unless you're in life. So it's the same shit. You can't describe what's going to happen unless you're at that point in time. Just like you couldn't describe how it's going by quick now. So we're gonna be it's gonna be like a different world, and it's kind of weird how they want to bring in virtual reality and keep everybody in the house. And I'm thinking maybe this has something to do with time going by so fast that they have to just keep everybody in the house because it's gonna be a different type of reality where it's gonna be more conducive for them to keep everybody indoors on virtual reality inside that machine, so you're not really aware of time like it is. Or I don't know, that's something I'm thinking. It's weird how they're going to bring in the virtual reality and all this, but time right now, why don't they bring it in right now? It's because probably it's not conducive and shit. So it's like, it's weird because they have all the technology is out already. It's out. They have everything out. It's just they have to wait to release it, and then they gotta release it incrementally. That's why they gotta bring out the weak ass Meta goggles, and then they have the little cheap ass Vision Pro, which is trash. But then in the next 20-30 years, because they already have this shit in 20-30 years, but then they gotta bring out the weak shit just so they can build up to it. The program people, just like they had the iPhone, the first iPhone, but now they have the iPhone 15. It's like they had the iPhone 15 back in 2007. It just they couldn't release it because they had to release it in stages to make more money, to get people used to it. And then certain technology probably they didn't want to bring out at that time because it would have been probably too much technology at the time. They didn't test it. So it's the same fucking shit. So it's like this shit is crazy. See, I can already feel the energy. There's a lot of tension going on, and there's a lot of people becoming people been always narcissistic. That's never gonna change. Like at the end of the day, like that shit's always been. It's never been a time people haven't been. That's part of human nature. Everyone is a narcissistic to a certain degree. It's just the people who you call narcissistic and who show it the most. Those are the most damaged people from that energy. So those are people who are damaged because anybody who's a narcissistic, they want to push out pain that they felt in their life at one time. So when you see somebody who's narcissistic and they're always trying to control you and they're always trying to talk shit or they're always trying to make fun of you, that's because some point in their life they felt in control of the circumstance. They felt picked on. They felt that same emotion that they want you to feel from them being a narcissist to you, they felt that at a young age. So their main goal is to make other people feel that same pain they felt. That's all a narcissist is. They're trying to push the pain that they felt at a young age. That's all a narcissist is. Because for you to be in an energy where you have to hurt somebody or be a narcissist to somebody, that means that you felt that way at a young age, and you want to make people feel that way so you can justify or you can have some type of closure because you haven't healed from that pain, and they don't want to do the shadow work, so they need closure, and the only way you can get closure is by doing the shadow work. But since they don't know that or they don't want to do that, they have to they do it their own way. And so they think, if I can make a lot of people feel how I felt while making people think I've never felt like this, then I'm going to get closure. And that doesn't give them closure because they keep doing it over and over. And then that just creates more energy and karma for them, where eventually they're going to get laid on their ass flat by somebody punching them in the fucking face or a bullet through their neck. So it's just going to end very bad for them. And it may not even have to do with anything of narcissism. Like, it may be a narcissism where they get in a car accident. They get fucking, somebody scams them. They get to an old age and somebody in Nigeria scams them out of their money. Has nothing to do with them being a narcissist, but they got fucked over by life. That's why, like, some of these people, like, you'll be seeing stories on the news. This person got shot and killed, and somebody robbed a convenience store, and he shot and killed this father of two. And they try to say father of two to make you feel sad. And I'm not saying you should be happy, but you don't know what that person that got shot did for you to manifest that situation. Everybody on the news is a so-called victim that gets shot, that gets killed. Like that nigga probably did some shit and he manifested that situation, because death is an energy. Just like money's an energy, death is an energy. You have to be in that energy to attract death. If that wasn't the case, then people will be dying left and right. You'll be seeing, have you ever seen somebody die in front of you? The chances are you haven't. That's because that's a certain energy you have to be in. It doesn't just happen randomly like that. Otherwise, you would have at least known 3 people you've seen died in front of your face. I'm sure some of you guys have, but it's very rare to see that, because it's an energy you have to really be in. And the universe gives you so many chances to not get in that energy. So by the time you get in that energy, you done fucked up somewhere, somehow, whether it be a past life, this life, or whatever. That's why I was like, just let motherfuckers do what they gotta do, because they gotta get they're gonna get what's coming to them, especially if they're not awake, because they don't know how to beat karma. A lot of these niggas, they don't know how to beat karma. They don't know how to, like, they're retarded. That's why some of these sheep, it's good that they're stupid. Imagine if most of these sheep, most of these bots, imagine if they knew how to beat karma like these elite. They wouldn't even get punished for the shit that they need to be punished for. You see what I'm saying? So in a way, it's kind of good that some of these niggas don't have no knowledge of some deep esoteric knowledge, because if they did, then a lot of the shit that they did, they'll probably know how to circumvent it. Or like, let's just say somebody who's out here doing something they have no business doing. You're like, man, I wish that motherfucker would get killed. If he was smart, he would get up out of that energy and be like, I'm gonna be a good person. But if he becomes a good person, he may not have the fate that he deserves, because he changed his ways. So the fact that he didn't change his ways is good in a way, because he's gonna get his punishment. If he changed his ways, he may not get the punishment because he changed his ways. But that's why, like, some people, I'm glad that they stupid. Like, I'll see somebody, they'll do some dumb shit to me, and in my mind, I'll be like, I'm not even gonna sweat it, because he's not spiritual. He has no knowledge, esoteric knowledge. So he's bound to make a mistake. Like, you'll be back. Just like when somebody goes to jail and they don't know how to not keep coming back to jail. They're like, you'll be back. Oh, I'm not going to be back. Are you going to keep doing the same thing you're doing? Yeah, but I'm not going to be back. Or you're going to be back. Eventually, you'll be back. That's why some of these bots and these dumbass people, when I see them do dumb shit, and they be so ignorant, they be so stupid. In my mind, I'm like, stay stupid. I'm glad you're stupid, because the more you stay in that stupid energy, the more you're gonna keep doing the same shit over and over, and karma's gonna get your ass. You're gonna make a mistake. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, I like to make everything turn. I like to make lemonade out of all lemons. I like to look at the bright side of everything. Because if somebody does some fuck shit to you, most likely they're gonna do it again. Look at your life right now. Look at people in your family, people, your friend groups that you used to hang out with. None of them are onto anything deep esoterically. So if they're not onto anything deep esoterically, the chances of that they're gonna fail at life is 99%. They're gonna fail at life. So if they want to be ignorant and they don't want to be onto anything spiritual, they're gonna fail at life and they're gonna make a mistake. And they're gonna end up dying and having to come back here. And then the next life they gotta get is gonna be worse. And they're gonna be in a situation where they probably a fucking homeless person in the middle of South Sudan. And then they're like, and then maybe a life previous to that, they were probably some rich financial guru that looked down upon everybody. But yet, since they weren't spiritual, they didn't wake up and they didn't use their money for anything special. They end up reincarnating as some broke ass kid in South Sudan. Because just because you could go up, you could go down. That's why you need to know how to maintain and know what the fuck you're doing. Because a lot of these people out here, you may think that they have a good life and shit, but if they don't have no knowledge, then they can make a mistake. That's one thing it sucks about being a new spirit. When you're a new spirit, you make mistakes. Like, a new spirit may come down here and think that he has complete control over his life. He goes and kills 20 people, and his mind, like, you would be like, I'm not going to kill 20 people because that's going to put a heavy energy on me. But some of these new spirits, they don't think of it like that. They think, I'm going to kill 20 people. Who cares? They look at it like a video game. I'm just going to hide from the cops and I'm gonna hide the gun and I'm gonna watch the fingerprints and I'm gonna kill 20 people and I got away with it. And then they do that, but then the repercussions is so hard, and then they have to learn a hard lesson. Since we're old spirits, we've already learned all that shit. That's why we know what we know now, because we already made those drastic mistakes in previous lives, and we went through that hell. So now we know not to do that. But these new spirits, they gotta go through that shit. So if you're ignorant and you're a new spirit, in my mind, I'm looking at you like you're just gonna incarnate. Like your life may be good now. You may have $1 million now. You may be doing it good now, but you're gonna end up in hell for eons, for many lifetimes. So nigga, like enjoy, laugh now, cry later. You enjoy, because at the end of the day, there ain't nowhere we going. We all here. You gotta get it right until you gotta, like, there's nowhere you're gonna go. Like time and space is an illusion. So nigga, like it could be 1,000,000 years and you live in the life you want to live, and in a million lifetimes you live in a life being ignorant. And then after 1,000,000 lifetimes, nigga, you live that lifetime repaying for all those billions of lifetimes you did. So now you got to be in you're going to be in a lot of fucking energy. It's going to take you a long time to get up out of that shit. Because they'll people tell you all this shit about, oh, you just wake up and like there's some things you make. There's some mistakes you can make in the spiritual world where fucking it's gonna be a long time for you to get up out of it. You gotta go through so many lifetimes of shit. Like it's not like, oh, I just do this. I'm just gonna, like, you make a mistake, whether you're drawing a painting, you make a mistake, you erase it. There's some mistakes spiritually you make where you gotta spend like 1,000 lifetimes going through a bunch of stupid shit you don't want to go through, and it's take a long time getting out of that energy because you got yourself into some deep shit, and you gotta literally go through so many lifetimes. So it's like it gets that deep. Nobody wants to really talk like that on the spiritual because scares people. Oh, am I gonna do that? Well, bitch, I don't give a fuck about scaring. People need to know this shit. This spiritual shit ain't no fucking joke. You can fuck around, get yourself stuck in a situation for fucking eons and a long ass time. And then even if you do everything right and you do everything the way you're supposed to do it, you still have to reap that energy. And yeah, it could get that bad. That's why you gotta know what the fuck you're doing. Not fuck around. He said, I'm definitely sharing this on my YouTube channel, all over social media. I want to share my friend. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, share the content if you guys can. That'd be good. Yeah, but if you're also, you made the mistake. So you just got to know not to make those mistakes again. And you automatically have the intuition to not do stupid shit. He's like, I was struggling with dealing narcissistic abuse, so your explanation of it really got to me. Yeah, don't even worry about it. A lot of people anybody who cares so much about making another person miserable, angry, or upset, that means that person who's trying to do that has been in that energy of miserable, angry, and upset for a long time. So, because when you're in an energy for a long time, you want to push that energy out to other people. If you have a lot of money and you have abundance and you're happy, you want to see other people be happy. If you're in misery and hell and in pain, you want to see other people in pain. So there's no such thing as being a narcissist and being very happy within and having it all together. Those are very angry and damaged people, but you guys don't see that because there's different levels of it, and it expresses itself differently. Like a lot of you guys, let's just say you're insecure. You're going to attract people. If you don't love yourself and you're insecure, you're going to attract people that always talk shit on you. They pick on you. You're minding your business. They start picking on you for no reason. Like, why is this person picking on me? That's because you don't love yourself. So the universe is putting situations of people showing you, those people making fun of you is how you feel about yourself on a spiritual level. And until you heal that, you're going to attract those type of people. So that's you. But then there's other people who they may have an egotistical version of themselves, and their lessons have to come differently. So it may not come in people picking on them. It may come as them getting robbed, or them getting their ass beat, or them getting in a car accident, or them having a health problem, or them something else that has nothing to do with people. You see what I'm saying? It just depends on the person. But don't think just because somebody's not going through your problem that they don't have a problem. Everyone has a problem, but it just, problems are different. You're looking at it as this person, they don't have my problem, so their life is good. Whereas like, no, a problem that you have, they don't have, but a problem that they have, you don't have. But you don't know because a lot of people are fucking like chameleons. They like to hide their shit and act like they don't have an issue. And nah, fuck them. People like to cloak, especially in the social media age. Everybody likes to cloak and put on a mask and a facade because people want you. They want you to see them how they want to see themselves. But they don't. Most people don't see themselves like that. So they have to lie on social media. They have to try to front. They have to try to make their image look good. Most people ain't shit. That's why you gotta just learn how to do your own thing and just because you even see people out here who they'll think they're better than other people, but in all actuality, it's not even that they're better. It's just like you'll see a kid who calling somebody broke, but his parents pay him a $10,000 a week allowance, a weekly $10,000 allowance, and he'll call other people broke. And it's like, how you gonna call people broke, nigga? That's how some people are with life. They'll be like, oh, this person ain't shit, or you guys ain't successful like me, or you. But it's like, nigga, you ain't got shit really. And it's not like it's not just because they don't have obstacles. Is these people aren't even smart spiritually. So like if like let's just say somebody has $1,000,000, they may look at you as dumb because you don't have $1,000,000, and they may look at you as better, but that doesn't mean shit because if you don't have $1,000,000 and you're spiritually smarter than them, and they have $1,000,000 and they're spiritually dumber than you, when you got $1,000,000, you're gonna be able to do more with that than them. You're gonna be able to enjoy that $1,000,000 more. You see what I'm saying? You'll be able to do something with the $1,000,000 and have more feelings and thoughts about what you could do and how you can do it and the pleasures from it because your spirit is more deeper. So you being a stronger spirit, you can be happier with less than somebody who's a weak spirit with more because you have a strong inner world. Your inner world is what makes you happy. So if you have a very creative, strong, vibrant inner world, you could be homeless and have a lot more happiness than somebody with $1,000,000. That's all. Like I be watching some of these fucking millionaires that be on their like party yachts and shit. I'm like that shit look boring. Like that a boring ass life. Like they think that because they think that shit is fun, and to some people it is because there's some people who are programmed. But like I see that shit, I'm like that shit's boring. It's on a fucking yacht. They're not doing nothing, and like I'm like they have a boring life. Like the most interesting thing in their life is the moment that the check hit their bank account. Beyond that, they live a boring life. They buy a bunch of stupid ass clothes that. But to each their own though. That's fun to them. But that's because they're a weak spirit. That little menial ass shit, it's fun to them. Going to go waste somebody's like, oh, I spent 10,000 on designer clothes. I'm like, the fuck? Like, who gives a fuck? Like, you could have done so much more and had much more fun. But maybe that is fun to them. And if that's fun to you, that's because you have a very shallow, small spirited mind. Shit is crazy. What's up with it, OG? He's like, what's up with it? Walking around with no respect really is the way you can generalize everyone as a bullshitter with no guilt attached to it. Yeah, I don't like when I say I don't have no respect, I don't come off as disrespectful. I just like everyone's just full of shit. Don't let like it's just crazy because like I don't know, it's just people are just full of shit. I was watching this video, but it was this black female, and she was talking about finance, and it's funny because before she made the video, she was like, I don't really know anything, and I'm really just give you advice, and I'm not. And she was really in her feminine energy, like she didn't act like she knew everything and whatever. And the video she gave was actually very knowledgeable. But then there was this other stupid ass bitch acting hella masculine like she knows everything, and everything that came out her mouth was like fucking retarded. So like it just reminds me of like how full of shit. Like it seems like people who try hard, those are the people who are like the worst. Like they try hard to get people's respect. This is why I don't have respect for anybody who tries hard to get people's respect. Because if you try hard to get somebody's respect in the world like this, you're selling yourself short. Because first of all, most people aren't shit. So if somebody thinks low of you, who the fuck are they? It's like a kindergartner coming to me and telling me that I'm dumb and he can't even read. He can't even do addition. I was like, who the fuck are you? You can't even fucking scratch your own. You probably can't even wipe your own ass. You calling me dumb? Like that's how you look when you feel like you need to get respect from these people, and then you try to prove yourself. Because usually the people who try to prove themselves, they come off as the most dumbest people, because they know deep down they don't know shit. And instead of actually doing the shadow work to correct that, they want to prove and have the external world validate their shit. So it's like, this is why I don't even waste my time. Anybody who tries too much to get respect from people, like, because at this point, I don't care if you respect me or not. I don't give a fuck. Like, a lot of people, they don't like the way I talk. They don't like the way I speak. Nigga, fuck you. If you're offended by what I say, nigga, fuck you. I want you to be offended. I talk a lot of shit on this channel, and I'm very disrespectful. And I don't care, because at the end of the day, like, I'll even go on other social media platforms, right? And I would and I would, like, leave my comments. And I wouldn't even say nothing disrespectful. I would not even say anything disrespectful, right? And people would delete my comments. It's like I said, certain energy that I have where, like, my voice and my energy is so powerful, people would delete my comments, or they'll look at what I'm saying as disrespect, even though I'm not even disrespecting them. Like, I'll say some real deep shit. People delete my comment, or they'll get upset at me, or think I'm saying, and I will see some deep shit. So this is why I'm like, this world ain't shit no more. This world ain't shit, because this is why I'm glad I have. This is why a lot of people, like, this is why you guys don't see no trolls on my channel, because people who get the most trolls, because I've had trolls before. Don't get me wrong, I had trolls, but you don't see that many trolls on my channel as somebody who talks a lot of shit like me. Like, I'll go on other people's channel, and they will literally have people talking shit about them for something that's not even that serious. Like, they'll be like, oh, I don't agree with this, and then they'll have trolls. But then me, you guys see how I talk, and then you don't see that many trolls, because they know not to come over here, because they already know that I don't give a fuck what they think. Once a troll or a person has a feeling that you care what they think, then that's when they give you their opinion. Once a human being's like, oh, I know he talks a lot of shit. The way he talks, the way he acts, he doesn't care what people think. So I'm not gonna troll him, because it's not gonna be sufficient enough. It's like, you're not gonna shoot a BB gun at a bulletproof vest and think you're gonna injure the person, because you know it's not gonna work. They're not gonna shoot their shots at me, because they know I don't give a fuck. Once you give off the energy you care, then that's when people will come and give your input. But the reason you don't see a lot of people, because they watch my channel, and then they're like, oh, they already know that I'm a type of person who I speak too much, and they probably got offended about what I said, and they're like, oh, he speaks too much, and he says things that nobody should say. So he obviously doesn't care what people say. So if I say something to him, it's not gonna affect him. So I'm not even gonna bother. This is one way you could just make trolls not even be here. That's how, like, people only will troll you once they feel that you gotta give a fuck what they gotta say. Like, I don't give a fuck about motherfuckers' opinions. And I'm not saying, like, it's always been like that. I'm not gonna say it's always been like that. It's been times where I did give a fuck about what people said and shit. But due to certain shadow work I did, I don't care anymore. Like, because that the part of the person that when you care what people think of you, that's not you. That's the false version of yourself that's been constructed by the media, the programming, all the mind control, the subconscious patterns you haven't removed. That's that fake version of you. So when you remove that fake version, it's not connected to the nervous system, so you don't act unaccordingly. This is what I got the word triggered from, because when you're triggered, it's because something that you haven't healed, that's attached to the nervous system, it triggers the nervous system, so it forces you to react. So you can't control that reaction unless you do the shadow work. And since most people don't do the shadow work, this is where they come up with the word trigger. Oh, this thing triggered you. That's just another word where you didn't do the shadow work, nigga. So whatever that's triggering you, whatever that person said that triggered you, it's antagonizing or amplifying what's already connected to your nervous system. And anything that's connected to your nervous system, if you don't release it, it's gonna affect you, no matter how much thinking, no matter how much money, no how much rationalization. If you don't do the shadow work to remove shit from your nervous system, these spiritual subconscious patterns and even physical due to like tense muscles, if you don't do that, then it's gonna trigger you. So you have to remove that. This is why you have people out here, no matter what they watch, no matter what they say, no matter how much money they get, no matter whatever they do, they say, I can't get this depression feeling. It's because you got something on your nervous system and it's stuck there. So it's like the doctor when they hit the thing on your knee and you it's a reflex. You can't control that reflex. You can't control it. It's automatic. It's the same fucking thing with the nervous system. People have attachments to the nervous system, spiritual attachments and physical. Physical will play out as in muscle tension. This is what the yoga's for. Qigong, breath work, all that. It's muscle tension. Probably you have shit going through your blood. You're eating a lot of crap. That affects you on a physical level. Then you got spiritual, shadow work. You haven't healed for something. So maybe something happened to you. Maybe your ass got jumped by a bunch of niggas, or you got robbed by too many black people. So now you fucking hate niggers and you gotta always troll every black person you see on the internet because he reminds you of that nigga who hurt you. And then you want to sit there and act like, oh, I just hate niggers because they're the nigga you just got jumped by too many of them, or your fucking bitch got fucked by one. So now black people trigger you. Bitch, you need to heal that shit so you can get that off your nervous system so you don't become a racist troll fuck like all these other bum ass niggas on the internet that try to act like, try to see like, nigga, I'm not your enemy. I'm not the one who go get the person who hurt you. Don't get me. Stupid bitch looking at me a certain way. Like, bitch, I'm not the one who robbed your stupid ass. Go get the person who did that. So it's like you got to deal with the inner work to get rid of all that shit. Then once you get rid of all that shit, then you can actually be yourself. Once you're yourself, then nobody can control you. You can choose to be an asshole. You can choose to be mean. You can actually, this is when you become a mental and emotional wizard or magician. You can play on people's mind. You can create a certain emotion and a thought. Like, you know how I tell you guys how if you attract people, like if you're somebody who's insecure, you're going to attract certain people. But if you master yourself, you can conjure up a fake mental and emotional insecurity that's fake, and then have people come, and then you can have people expose their vulnerabilities. Like you could pretend that you're a weak nerd with emotional issues and just give off that energy and thought, and then attract somebody like that to get into their aura field and then expose them. You see what I'm saying? Like it's like some mental witchcraft, emotional. You can do that shit, but you have to really be 100% in control of your mind, and then you're dictating shit. Shit is crazy. I'm gonna drop the link if anybody wants to join. I didn't even want to go live today, but something in me wanted me to go live. Yeah. Grateful for you, Chauncey, and all the old souls sharing this moment. Shout out to Wes. Shout out to everybody in the room, too. Jay Vass, Mello, Corey. Yeah, I got the link if anybody wants to join and ask any questions, or you want to just, not even ask questions, is whatever's going on in your life or whatever. Like I always say ask questions, but you can just tell me what you're observing in your life and in reality. And then I could just piggyback off that, and then you can just build. Because like it's not even about you just asking me questions. I'm just trying to build. Because you guys, sometimes you guys may say something that may spark something in me for me to start saying some shit. And But you guys, we got a new time right now, guys. Like it's a wrap. Like what I suggest everyone do is like I'm not saying like because at this point in the game you got to play the game. You can sit there and say that, oh, fuck the system and I don't want to do this, but it's like which one do you, if you got to, because right now the world we're in, we're getting deeper into the bullshit. So you have to learn how to play the game. But which part of the game do you want to be? Do you want to be the bum ass nigga who works at Amazon warehouse, miserable, and the only life you have is on your cell phone watching social media and at that toxic ass environment? Or do you want to be on the other side of the system where you create your own reality and you have your own shit and you're doing your own thing? Yeah, you're going to be part of the system still, but you're going to be more in a better space. So it's like you guys got to choose, because there's so many people out here saying, oh, fuck this shit, and I'm not going to do anything. And one thing I noticed, all these people that say fuck, because I hate the system, but all these people who say fuck the system and I'm not gonna do shit, they're still doing shit. Like it is not like they're not doing anything. Like they go to a weak ass job, they go, they do weak ass shit. Even their entertainment is weak ass shit. They play video games that the government provided for you. Nigga, all that, you don't think you playing video games in something that you're doing, bitch. They created the video games that you're playing. Those video games wouldn't even be able to be on the shelves if it wasn't verified and vouched by some fucking Jewish small dick fuck. So they verify all that shit. Even your entertainment, you're doing everything the system wants you to do. So don't sit there and think that you somehow not participating in the system, but yet you play video games, you're on social media, you work a measly ass job. Fuck out of here. You're just living a miserable part of the system. That's all it is. So you're actually in a worse part of the system than the people that you think that is somehow working for it. You may say, oh, this person, he has a business, he's working for the system, but like, nigga, you're more miserable in the system. So it's like, and it's like, it's about creating, because I look at it like being free, being able to do what you want to do when you want to do it. That's my main thing. I don't give a fuck about money and having material. I care about being able to do what I want to do, go where I want to go, not do what I don't want to do. And even then, you're still gonna have to do what you want to do to a certain fucking degree. If I want to go out to fucking, I don't know, Sears and buy a goddamn mattress, if it's closed at 10 o'clock, I can't buy it at 10 o'clock. If I want to buy something on Amazon, I can't make it come in a day if the fucking shipping time is 3 days. So we're always controlled. We don't have that much free will, but you want to have as much free will as you can, and that's my main thing, is to have as much free will as I can. And like, that's the main goal you guys should be getting, to be free, so you could have time to work on self and be healthy, because we're in a time right now where if you don't have time, you can't be healthy. And I'm gonna say it, like, you can't, I don't want to say you can't be healthy, but it's gonna be very hard to be healthy, like, especially if you really want to reach true health, because health is wealth, remember? Like, try fasting for 7 days and working a 9 to 5. Shit's not gonna work. Like, unless you're very skilled, and at that point, if you're that skilled, you wouldn't even need to be working at 9 to 5. You'd be able to do something else and provide for yourself. So as I'm saying, health. This is why a lot of people, they're not healthy, because they're so busy with their life. Like, I even see a lot of financial gurus who got money, and like, they'll be talking about, oh, I'm going to the dentist or I'm going to the doctors, and I'm like, you have all this money and you're going to the doctors? And then they try to be like, oh, I have premium insurance. My insurance is, it's I don't have Medicaid like you guys do. I got premium insurance. And I'm like, nigga, you still going to a doctor that those Jewish people don't even fucking go to, because they already know that shit's fucking retarded. You guys need to wake up, like, because health doesn't even cost any money. Health is fucking free. It just takes discipline, which discipline costs more than money. It's more giving it out. You throwing $100 down the drain, it's far more easier than you putting discipline into something. And if what I was saying is lying, you would see more people with discipline in life. But you don't see that. You see a lot of people throwing away $100 on a fucking Netflix or Game Pass subscription every fucking year, throwing money down the drain on fucking drugs and alcohol. wasting money. But then you can't see people put discipline to stop that. So what I just said is true. People can throw away $100 faster than they can actually get discipline. Did I tell you guys no lies when I speak? Shit is what it is, though. But it is what it is, guys. I'm not. My videos aren't depressing. Like my videos are to motivate you guys. You see how I go negative, but I also give you solutions, and I also give you an understanding and an explanation for what's going on. A lot of these other bozo heads out here, they don't do that. All they do is just tell you, talk about negative shit. Oh, the system's gonna collapse. A fucking donut costs $4. Uh, um, Doritos don't taste like they do anymore. Why is gas expensive? There's nobody's hiring. They need to raise the inflation. Like, shut your stupid ass up, nigga. Where's the solutions at, nigga? All I hear is you bitching. Where's the solutions to that? There are solutions. Wake the fuck up. Take care of your fucking health. Attain consciousness, awareness of something greater than that shit that you're paying attention to. And I can't, at the end of the day, I can't tell you everything. Nobody can tell you everything. Nobody can tell you the secret. You could watch this video 100 times and still don't get it. Because remember I told you guys in my last video, you can't cheat life. You can't cheat life. So you can watch this whole video, but if you don't go through the work, you're not going to get the success you want. You have to go through the pain. You have to go through the failures. You have to go through the disappointment. You can't come in life and don't go through no failure, no disappointment, no pain and succeed. It's impossible. You have to go through failure. You have to go through disappointment. You have to go through trial and error. You have to. If you don't, you're not going to succeed. That's a remedy. Just like you can't make a fucking cake without flour and milk and eggs. The same shit with the fucking, you can't get success without failure, disappointment, loss, trial and error. It's part of the recipe. You need that shit to create the success recipe. So you can watch this video and get everything, but you still, even if you apply everything like I tell you or like anybody else tells you, you can apply it verbatim. There's going to be hiccups on that path. But what you need to realize is those hiccups aren't you doing something wrong. Those hiccups are part of the recipe. And if you're not strong enough to stay strong through those hiccups and those mishaps and trial and error, then you're just going to be like 99% of people, failures. See what I'm saying? This is why nobody's successful, because people, you think when you see all these failures out here, you think nobody tried? 99% of people, they tried to do something. It didn't work. So they gave up. There's very rare people who never tried anything. Like, everyone's tried. Like, like, you guys gotta understand, like, we're all human beings. Regardless if it's a person who's awake, who's a bot, we're all spirits in a human body. Even when you're talking about women, at the end of the day, that's still a spirit in a human body. There's certain things that we all relate to because we are a spirit in a human body. So when I say we all try that one, every human being wants a good life. So don't you think everyone at least tried? Or at least 99.9% of people tried? It didn't work. And some people, they give up. Some people, they don't give up. Some people, they don't even, they barely try. They probably try a little bit, and once it didn't work, they just give up. So it's like, it's different spectrums to it. So you guys got to understand, like, you got to go through it, make the mistakes, fail, go through the disappointment, fail, and then get to the success. And then I'm telling you this so when you guys do get through these problems, you don't give up, because other people won't tell you this. And then when you get to these mishaps, you think there's something wrong with you. But I'm telling you this so when you do get through it, you keep going. And you know it's part of the process. It's a test. You can't get there. So you don't get confused and think it's somebody attacking you or somebody doing, because a lot of the things when you guys getting attacked, like say, oh, this person, why I keep manifesting this person, why I keep manifesting this. Most of the reasons is because you haven't done something to fix something within you. If you don't really, like, if you don't love yourself, you're gonna have problems always happening. And loving yourself doesn't mean that, oh, I love myself and I think I look handsome, or I think I'm smart, or it's, are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? Like, it's gotten to the point where, like, I've seen spiritualists on here say that I have to be my higher self, but it's hard to be my higher. It's like, no, you are your higher self. What you are right now is a fake version of you. See, like it's just like a drug addict who's on drugs. But they get sober 10 years later and he becomes a multimillionaire entrepreneur. When he's an entrepreneur at making millions, in that state of consciousness, he doesn't ever want to be back doing drugs. He can't imagine how, like, he's like, I wasted all that money doing drugs. I really did that. I could have been doing this. But when he was doing drugs, if somebody told him open a business and quit drugs, he was like, fuck you. This is who I am. So, because you're a spirit, your spirit is nothing. So, whatever you are right now, that isn't you. There's something that your spirit wants you to be. And your spirit's not even that, but it wants you to be that. And that's the closest thing to your spirit, to you. So when you are saying, well, when you don't love yourself, you can be an egotistical person who thinks that you're the best shit, but you still don't love yourself because you're not doing what the spirit wants you to do. But you think you are. This is what they call the ego. It's misleading the mind. It misleads you. The mind is so it plays tricks on you. You will think that what you're doing is who you are and what you're supposed to be, to the point where you don't even know who you to the point where you'll call your higher self as something that you have to be. Like I remember I heard somebody say, "Man, it's hard to be the higher self, man, because sometimes I get lost in my desires and I have to be this." And it's like, no, it's not that your higher self is who you are. You're just lost in this person that you're not. That's the thing. You're not trying to people look at it like it's a 9 to 5, like, oh, I gotta go be my higher self, or I have to do this. And it's like anything that you're supposed to do, you love to do it. It's not you're trying to do it. It's just you haven't made it to that level yet. So you think it's something you have to do, but once you attain that level, then you'll feel more happier than when you were at your happiest in your old self. You have to be there to experience it. Like people like to say God, like, because there's people on here, they like to say, oh, I'm doing God's mission. And they say, oh, I got to be a vessel for God. And then I heard this one, somebody, they said, I have to be a vessel for God. And it's hard to be a vessel for God because I want to do what I want to do. But it's like, if you were a vessel for God, I don't like to use this word God, but this is what this person said. And I get what they were saying. But if you're being a vessel for God, you're doing what you want to do. Anytime you're questioning, oh, I don't want to be a vessel, that means you're in an ego when you're not doing what you want to do, and you have to try to get out of that. It's like a drug addict. When they're a drug addict, they love to get high. But when they become sober and they accomplish so much, they don't even want to get high no more. They can't. They will go above and beyond to make sure that's not even in their atmosphere of reality. If they're fully clean, not somebody who's relapsing in the relapse stage. I'm talking about somebody who's like got off of it and they're really healed. So it's like, and I don't like to use this word God because it's all fake. It's like a Masonic word. But I heard somebody say that, so that's why I use that term. Somebody said I heard sheeple complain about less white cream in Oreos. That's sad right there. That's pitiful. Like, that's not even a joke. If human beings are complaining about that, then that honestly shows you how far we fell as humanity. Not we, because I'm not part of this shit, but how far humanity has fell. Yeah, fuck humanity though. There's a wrap for them. Yeah, and right now, like, there's no waking up, like, people no more, like, because think about it like this: anytime you have to tell somebody that you gotta wake up, we on a spiritual mission. Like, for example, if I came on here and I'm all like, oh, we're on a spiritual mission, that's bullshit. Because a real spiritual mission is people that It's like you. I'm trying to find a perfect way to explain it. Anything that's real is real. Anything that's fake is fake. If I have to come on YouTube and say, I'm going to open a business, I'm going to be spiritual, that's fake because the internet is fake. What will be real is if mentally I'm in the mindset and frequency and vibration to open a business and be spiritual. And then I start doing that. And then once I start doing that in my real life, I'm going to manifest people that do that. And what doesn't need to be explained, doesn't need to be said, doesn't need to be explained, because we're going to start acting upon it. It's like if we're all hungry and we haven't eaten in 10 days and we see some steak on the ground somebody cooked for us, are we going to debate, oh, let's eat that? How are we going to eat it? Are we going to get the fork? Are we going to eat the T-bone? Are we going to eat the left side? No, we're going to just start fucking eating because what doesn't need to be said or explained. We're all hungry, we already know. So that's the same thing about anybody talking about anything on the internet, as in I'm gonna build a community, it's all fake. They're just talking about it just for clout. Because what will really happen if they were really about it is frequency and vibration. Frequently, they will be in it. So mentally, they'll be in a mindset to open a business and be spiritual. Vibrationally, they'll be in it to open a business and be spiritual. Then they will start doing actions, and then it will manifest in real life as that fruitioning. And then they'll talk about it on the internet, and then that's what it will be. If it's not that, then it's all fake. It's all bullshit. That's why, like, the internet is all fake. It's all bullshit, and they have it. This is why they have the algorithm, because the algorithm in 2024, what makes content good, like people say, oh, how to be a good YouTuber, bitch. The only thing that makes you a good YouTuber, as far as the status quo, is that number at the bottom of the screens next to views. Once that number is like at 20,000, 50,000, 30,000, that makes your content good in 2024. Nothing else matters. This is the world we're in. You could be the stupidest, fattest, disgusting, ugliest, raggedy, dankiest piece of shit to walk the face of this wretched planet. If you have 20,000 views on the side of your video and you're speaking stupid shit, you're going to be looked at as this internet sensation. This is how the Masons have made it, because they have to program. They want to push their narratives, and they want people to believe a certain way. This is why they got rid of the dislike button, because during the pandemic, every time they put one of these dumbass politicians to talk about how the pandemic was anything but fucking crazy, people disliked it. And they have to remove it because it was kind of making people look at the government like, ain't nobody fucking with this shit, so they have to remove it. So now you couldn't, it kind of blurred the perspective of it, because now it makes you feel like, am I the only one who thinks like this? They want you to feel alone. Like, am I the only one who thinks like this? No, bitch, you're not, we're not calling you bitch, but no, you're not the only one who thinks like this. These bitches out here, they want you to think that you're the only one who thinks like this. So this is why they have the algorithm. This is why they have the views, and it's strategic. Even people who talk so-called spiritual, they'll put certain people in the algorithm. Like, you have channels like Black Magic 363. The reason I say these channels is not me hating. I use this as an example because that's a psyop channel. Black Magic 363 is a psyop channel. Mark the Messenger, that's a psyop channel. Like, you see these channels have a lot of, it's nothing about, because a lot of people think I'm hating on them. It's nothing about me hating on them. At the end of the day, I don't know these people personal. I have no problem. They haven't done nothing to affect me or whatever. So it's just, I use them because they're a psyop. The government, they have no, a white, old ass white cracker with a suit and tie can't come on YouTube and talk like me, because nobody's gonna take him serious. So they have to live through the content creators, just like a failure ass father has to live through their son or daughter and make them become a volleyball or basketball star in high school to get to college because they couldn't do it because they were a failure. So they have to live through their child. That's the same way with these government. They have to live through the fucking content creators because they ain't shit. They can't gravitate hundreds of thousands of people and shit. And some of these people can't even gravitate it. They just been pushed. So a lot of these people can't even gravitate these views. It's just they have a certain look and image. They look like you. So since they look like you, the Jewish people, they will push their image they'll put their views up and put them in the recommendations a lot more than they need to be, and it makes them be seen. So it's like a way that they'll push to make people, and they only do this if you're talking a certain way. The moment Mark the Messenger, Black Magic, he stops talking certain things, they're gonna drop his monetization. First, what they'll do is probably drop his views. If he keeps running his fucking mouth in the way they don't want him to run it, then they're gonna demonetize it. That's what. Look at Young Pharaoh. You don't believe me? Look at Young Pharaoh. Remember when Young Pharaoh was at? He was at fucking. Say what? No, I don't got one. Remember Young Pharaoh? He was at 100,000 views per video. He even had 1 million views one point. Remember that shit? Look at this nigga now, because he wasn't playing by the program. It wasn't and in Young Pharaoh's case, it wasn't because he was speaking truth. Because there was a time that they were gonna bring that nigga on the Republican convention with Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel fucking gave that nigga a shout out, and all these people in the fucking Hollywood sphere were talking about him. But it wasn't his information, more so why they got rid of him. It's the way he acted. Too he acted too real. He wasn't Hollywood enough. When you get into a certain image or a level, you have to have a certain presentation about yourself. You have to talk a certain way. You have to look a certain way. You have to have a certain camera setting. You have to have a high-end camera to make yourself look Hollywood. He wasn't really playing the way they wanted to play, so they didn't like his energy, so they got rid of him. Plus, he talked a lot of shit. He was talking the way there's nothing wrong with talking shit, because you could talk shit, but it's how you talk shit. Like how I talk shit, that's kind of how Young Pharaoh was talking shit. His mouth was just running in a way where they don't like it. It's like it's hard to explain. It's like kind of like what's that nigga's name? That bug-eyed nigga. Charleston White, the nigga with like a fucking the glass eye and shit. Like it was kind of like him, but it was in a way different. Charleston White, they really don't care, because Charleston White, he talks shit, but he talks shit about shit that's not important. If you start talking shit about the system, like if Charleston White started talking shit about the system and about how the government ain't shit and fuck the FBI, his ass would probably have a scandal, be dead. But they don't care, because Charleston White talks shit about rappers. No one who gives a fuck about rappers. Like who cares about that shit? Like you can really, it doesn't really matter. Like if anything, in the rap community, the more toxicity and the more negativity and the more shit talking, the more better it is. Like so there's no limit in the fucking rap community, to be honest. You can, all bars is like dead, except if you're snitching. Then that's different, and they don't fuck with that. And even then, the government kind of doesn't want that to be, because the government wants people to fucking snitch. So, but they don't like it. They didn't like, so they got rid of Young Pharaoh, because you see, they gave him the light, and he wasn't presenting themselves, so they got rid of him, and they did a scandal on him, and they made everybody hate him and go against him. Imagine if all these other content creators you see with a lot of views, if they start speaking their mind and talking what they don't need to be talking from the government's perspective, that's what's going to happen to them. So this is why, like, people, they try to be all polite. That's why, like, if you get monetization, I know there was a subscriber, one of my subscribers, he has a YouTube channel, and he has like a channel. He has like fucking 100,000 subscribers. He said he makes quite a bit of money, and I'm like if you watching this and you making that money, like you should stack that money up and find other ways to put your money in. And don't rely solely on YouTube, because any day they can drop your monetization. They can pass a law. They can make it where they don't want to pay you no more for whatever reason. Like they can just drop your shit for whatever reason. So you want to, like, don't have a other side income. Don't just make YouTube your own income. And then all you niggas trying to, I want to be a YouTuber. That shit is not really reliable as you think it is, because they could demonetize. There was this one channel, this white dude. He talks about fucking like red pill shit. and it was on my recommendation, and he was like, YouTube demonetized me, and they just demonetized him, and I guess he got his channel remonetized, but he was in limbo for like about a month. So for a month he didn't get no money or anything, and he had to keep going back and forth with them. And they turn off his monetization for no reason. He does not talk spiritual. He just talks about how women ain't shit and fucking other shit and dating and all this other pickup artist shit. And they demonetized him. And he wasn't even talking spiritual. So when I seen that, I'm like, okay, you really can't make this shit your fucking main source. You have to like use, but I'm sure most people, they have common sense. Like you take that money and you invest it to other streams of avenues that you can make income from. You don't just make that your own income, because that shit is not reliable source, because anything can happen. They can not like you, that you can say something to piss them off, and they can drop your views, because they always remember they control the algorithm. Anybody that you see, I will say about over 90% of people you see with 300 over 200,000 subscribers, and they're pulling in 50,000 views regularly, these people have been helped and been pushed. They didn't get there on their own. They they've passed the audition. Just like back in the day, they'll have screenings for an audition to go act in Disney Channel or Nickelodeon, or you could be on a show on ABC, and you'll have to go on a audition. And if you pass the audition, which you have to beat thousands, hundreds, or sometimes thousands of people to get to the audition, or even American Idol, when they had the audition and there's only like one person who won, that's what YouTube is. But it's on a broader scale. But the audition is not as it was back then. It's based on how you present yourself, how you talk, and all this other shit. And then based upon that, the Jewish people was like, okay, let's push his views up. Because look at the people who have the most views. 99% of them, they reflect and, what's the word for it? Reminisce or reflect of somebody who's like in Hollywood, or somebody who was chosen. They don't look like they've been there by themselves. Look at the energy. When you see somebody with like 500,000 subscribers and they got like 100,000 views, don't think that they didn't get helped by these Jewish people algorithmically. And even if they say they did, they're in their ego. They push these people because they passed the algorithm, the audition. And it doesn't mean you don't talk spiritual. You could talk spiritual. You could talk about saying fuck the government, and you could still pass the audition. It's how you present yourself, though. You could talk about red pill, fuck the government, and chakra Anunnaki, and they'll still pass you in the audition, because they have to make you think that it's not what you think it is. They got to make you think like it's, oh, anybody can do it. Nah, if that's not what it is. It's an ugly ass fucking Cybertruck. That ugly ass shit. Somebody really wasted almost $100,000 on that fucking shit. That looks like a piece of tinfoil. I wish I could show you guys, but it's over there. I can't flip it because I'm on StreamYard. It's that ugly ass Cybertruck. Look like he's driving around a pack of Reynolds wrap. You know that foil, that aluminum foil? Like he got the box of Reynolds wrap. He took the box out and just put some wheels on the foil. That shit look ugly as fuck. But like I said, like there's right there. See that shit? Ugly ass shit. That's the first. Notice this. The Cybertruck is the first expensive so-called luxury car that you can actually clown somebody and it'll actually make sense. Like, when do you see a car that costs damn near $100,000 that you actually get clowned on for driving? That's like the first car I seen. Like, for real. Like, people actually talking shit about a car that's weird. But like I said, they control the fucking algorithms, nigga. Like I'm telling you guys, like this shit is crazy. And they have to, though, because you gotta look at it from their perspective. They have to, because everybody's on the internet. Everybody watches YouTube. So it's the new paid programming. It's the broadcasting network. The fuck is that? Hold on. Hold on, guy. Oh, I don't know why they send me that stupid ass shit. But yeah, it's they have to, because if they don't, this shit will really switch up, like the way people think. Because everybody, this is another reason why people are like, you guys see that people are becoming more robotic, more sheep. This is because of the food. I already been telling you guys this. I've been telling you guys this shit back in the day. The shit they're putting in the food is the reason why people are fucked up. It's even to the point where I don't even think when men talk about, complain about women and how women are so fucked up. You can't get mad at the woman. It's the shit that they're eating. It's the programming. It's all this other shit. And it's social media. Social media is designed where the more depressed and the more mentally unhinged you are, the more you're going to be invested into social media. So it's like a revolving door of it just getting worse. The more mentally unhinged you are, the more you're going to be on social media, because you're trying to distract yourself. And social media, you get to watch anything when you want to watch it. With television, you only can watch what they show you. With social media, you watch whenever you want to watch when you watch it, from Hulu to Netflix to even to fucking video games, because that's part of social media as well, because they have the chat, and you got the video games, and you can even stream the video games. You can even post pictures of the game within the Xbox console. So video games is part of social media. So when video games, it's the same thing. So people who are mentally ill, they're more invested into social media. So with the reason, this is the reason why people are more mentally unhinged. They're more, you guys say that they're crazy, or why aren't people the same anymore? It's because of social media. It's causing people to be more fucked up. And then when you get the average person who's watching, let's just say you get a female that watches social media, she sees a whole bunch of women that don't look as good as her, that's probably maybe 6 or 7, but they're making millions of dollars. They got Prince Charming flying them out to Cabo and Dubai. And in her mind, since she's fucking dumb and she doesn't know that you get what you deserve, not what you want or need, she looks at it like, oh, fuck that bitch. I should be there. And I should be in her situation. And this is stupid. And then she'll get angry and upset. And then she expects every guy to fly her out to Dubai. And then when the guy doesn't do that, he's not a man. Where are all the real men at? Bitch, all the real men don't want you. Because you've been talking about where all the real men at. Go get you a real man. You're having me to believe that either no men want you, or um no men want you. Because if you say where are the good men, the good men should be coming to you. But the thing is, they don't fucking want you. Or if they do want you, they just want to fuck you, and they want to disregard you. They don't want to take you serious and fly you out to Dubai, because otherwise you wouldn't be complaining about that shit. So it's social media, because everybody's watching a fake life. They're not in reality no more. And when I say this fake life, I'm saying because people show you what they want you to see on social media. You can see somebody in Dubai having a time, just eating, drinking, and flying, but that person could be depressed. That person could have just went through something and they're miserable, or they have some type of, maybe they have, like, maybe they're in Dubai but they just lost $5 million through one of their clients from their construction company going bankrupt. So they lost $5 million, but yet he still has $20 million. He just lost $5 million. So you guys see the $20 million. You see the $20 million that he has, but you don't understand that he just lost $5 million. So in his mind, he's depressed. But you looking at him like he's happy because he got 20 million. But this nigga just lost $5 million because his business partner went bankrupt, and he had a company, and the company went bankrupt. So he lost $5 million on the deal. But you don't look at this. So you look at a fake reality, thinking you're not looking at all the shit that has happened to people and what's gonna happen to them. Because if you knew that, you would not look at social media like you look at it. But people, it doesn't grasp in their brain. So then they watch social media, and then it makes them think life should be like this. And when life doesn't come like this, they get depressed, they get upset, they get angry, and it leads them to be bitter, upset, depressed, and then they think they need to accomplish this, or they think that they can accomplish a large sum of things with very little work. Even to the point people will be like, oh, This $1 million is not even that much money, but they don't even have $1 million. You see what I'm saying? But the reason they say that is because they see so many people flex $1 million like it's nothing. But you don't know all the shit that they have to go through to get that $1 million. All this you don't know that. You don't know how much millions they've lost. A lot of people who have millions of dollars, they have stories of how they've lost millions of dollars, but they've got it back. Because remember, I told you you have to go through pain to get to success. I don't think there's any rich person that I know that doesn't have a story where they lost a lot of money, whether it be hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, or $1 million. I've never met. There's always somebody, or they lost a loved one, or they lost a kid, or they went through something. But then, since people are so programmed and they just watch social media, not knowing the truth, then it's like they look at it from a fake reality. That's why I tell you guys, fake reality. You don't know what a person's going through. Just because you see somebody with $20 million, they could have just lost $10 million, and they can't stop thinking about the $10 million that they lost. But you just see the $20 million, but they once had 30. But then now you look, oh, look at them, and they all. But you don't know what motherfuckers go through. So you guys got not always don't. This is fake reality out here. That's why a lot of people have been, and social media is just it's because I notice as the deeper this social media thing becomes, the worse it gets, and it's gonna get to a. I don't even want to imagine how bad it's gonna be, because you guys think it's bad now. You guys think about you guys say that a lot of you guys wake up in the morning, you look at your phone first thing in the morning. You look at your phone, you scroll your social media. If you can't even go 3 days without looking at social media. Some of you guys need to always be on your phone, social media. So imagine once the internet becomes 7G. Imagine when virtual reality is like to the point where you don't even need glasses anymore. To the point where they're just like a fucking little brick, or it's a little fucking levitating disc, and it just follows you wherever you go, and it just shows the screen, and you don't even need a fucking phone or glasses anymore, and it just gets you into the world. Maybe they'll have virtual reality where you don't even need the glasses. You just go step into a machine. And remember in Call of Duty, the first Call of Duty, it was a training mission. The first minute, and you're in a like, Universal Studios, how they have that dome. Remember the dome in Las Vegas, that big ass dome that they just created? It was a big ass dome, and inside the dome, it was a virtual world. So you didn't even need glasses. See, they just tell you about the glasses virtual reality, but there's different types of virtual reality. Virtual reality where you'll be able to go into a building. It's a virtual building, virtual um virtual building reality, a virtual like establishment where you walk in the building, and it's virtual, and then it feels real and shit. Imagine when the shit gets like that, and they make that into social media. That's just gotta be. It's gotta be, and people are addicted to this now. I kind of, but at that, if it gets to that point, what's gonna happen is it's gonna cause a lot of health problems, because a lot of people aren't gonna be used to their body. Because when you're in virtual reality for a long period of time, you start to think the virtual world is real, and you start losing strength in your body. This is why it's kind of dangerous, because anytime you're in virtual reality for a long time, your strength in your movements aren't really as strong as they are, because you're in it for a long time. So this is it's going to be a lot of weak people in the future. Your grip strength is going to be weak. People are going to probably have a lot of delusions. If the people who are in virtual reality for too long, they're going to have a lot of delusions, because they're going to think the virtual world is the real world, and they're going to think the real world is the virtual world. If you don't take a break from it, they're going to probably develop eye issues. It's going to be a whole new slew of mental and physical health issues that's going to come with AI, and they're going to lie about it and say it was some floating thing or something else, and they're going to make a prescription for it, just like they have um SAD, seasonal affective disorder. They're going to probably be VAD, virtual affective disorder, depression from virtual reality. It's going to be shit like that. And it's going to probably have people going to have weaker limbs. They're not going to be as strong. And if that shit goes on for hella generations, kids are going to be born with weak ass limbs, because the parents just sit in the fucking virtual world all day. They're not using your legs and your arms. If you're not using your legs, your arms, they get weak. Just like when you stay in a hospital 24/7. You have muscle atrophy, and then you have to get the muscle up, and they give you nutrients, or you have to learn how to walk again because you were asleep for too long. People are gonna be laying in these virtual worlds for so long, it's gonna make their shit fucking weak. That's why that shit's kind of, it's gonna open up a whole new slew of like mental and physical health issues. And that's on the broad worst aspect. When we talk about like depression, insecurity, and the shit that we have now with just this, amplify it times fucking like 4. That's gonna be what the virtual reality brings. I think when they bring virtual reality, I think that's another depopulation they're gonna try to do to kill people. Because then at that point, they'll be able to just, you're gonna just die off in that machine. Because at that point, there's no point, because anything you do at that point, once they move the whole matrix into more virtual reality, at that point, there's gonna be nothing important no more. There'll be no point to do nothing. Because what I think they're gonna do if they do bring the virtual reality, they're gonna probably replicate this world into virtual reality. Because you see how this building is right there. You see how that building is right there. It's gonna be a virtual world where that building is gonna be in the same spot. So it's not gonna be a virtual world like you guys think it is. It's gonna be like this same world that we're in now is gonna be copied virtually, and you're gonna be living in that world. So you still gotta go to your 9 to 5, just like you go walk down the street to go to McDonald's. It's still gonna be walking down the street to go to McDonald's, but it's gonna be virtual. That's what I'm thinking. Like, you guys think it's gonna be something like, no, it's gonna be just like, it's just gonna, because all they gotta do is use satellites to copy, just use Google Maps and satellites and copy and replicate the whole reality into virtual. And then they can create a virtual world that looks like the real world. And you just live in that and bring the world into that. You see what I'm saying? It will make sense to do that. What the fuck you think they're gonna make a fucking like Aladdin castle and fucking a big fairy building with all like the fuck? They're gonna replicate it, and you're gonna have to live and work in that shit. So it's gonna be worse. Like, you guys, it's gonna be like doing all the shit you're doing here, but in that world. That shit's gonna suck if it goes that route. That shit's gonna fucking suck. And it even get to a point where you probably won't even need virtual. You won't even need the glasses no more. It'll probably have like apartment buildings where the whole apartment building might be just virtual, and you just go into fucking building, and that's the world. It's not even like you need glasses, because the glasses, they're probably gonna remove the glasses and won't even be with glasses at a certain time. Because think about, like, wearing glasses on your head 24/7. It'd probably be you just go into a pod, and then it's connected to your brain through a chip, and then you're living in like the Matrix type of shit. Like, you're in the world, but they connect you to a chip. That's probably gonna be where they're trying to take it. Not gonna be like some shit you wear glasses in the metaverse and all that. Just like they try to get you guys with the AI, because everybody thought AI was. Remember, everyone's all talking, oh, AI. When AI comes, this is gonna be. But look, at AI is already here. They have the ChatGPT. They have all these AI. It's not like you expected it. It's they snuck it in. You see how they snuck it in, where you don't really notice it, but we're in the AI time. Remember about 4 years ago, we were talking about when AI comes here, when AI comes. Look, they got you go on fucking ChatGPT, you go on fucking, you can download apps and programs where you can type in a panda bear fucking scratching his ass, sucking a gorilla's dick, and they'll literally make a picture of that shit. And then you could have a picture. Like, we're in that fucking time already. But you see how they snuck it in? So the virtual reality, they're gonna sneak it in. Like, it's gonna be the real world, but they're gonna sneak it in a certain way. Just crazy. There's the link if anybody wants to join. This is some deep shit. I'm gonna leave this channel or this video up. Share the video too. Get the message out here. This video needs to be seen, because People don't know what the fuck's really going on like that. I'm not saying I know what. Well, actually, I do know what's going on. I know everything. There's nothing I don't fucking know. I know every fucking thing in reality, and there's nothing I don't know. And anybody who says I don't know anything, I automatically know more than you. So I know everything. That's how I'm able to make this video. And knowing everything means not knowing anything. Because if I know everything, I also have to know what it feels like to not know something. Otherwise, I wouldn't know everything. Because not knowing something is part of that everything. So technically, I know everything, including not knowing certain things, which I know those things too. So I know everything. Who is anybody to tell me they don't? If somebody comes up to me and says, if somebody came up to me and is like, you don't know everything, first thing I will say is, do you know everything? Then they're going to respond as, no, I don't know everything. The more you know, the more you don't know. They'll say some dumb shit like that. And then what I will say is, okay, so since you don't know everything, how can I take anything that you say seriously? Because if you just say you don't know everything, then you telling me that I don't know everything, that could be possibly wrong. That could be part of the things that you don't know about. So shut the fuck up. You can't tell me nothing once you say you don't know everything. Only person who can tell me something is somebody who knows everything. If you want to get technical. So anybody that said they don't know everything, you can't tell me anything because whatever you come at your mouth is possibly wrong. So I can't take you seriously. But yeah, we gotta. Well, I was gonna say we gotta wake up, but like it's too late for that. It's too late for that. I think the government. I think they won this battle. I don't want to say they won the war, but they won this battle. To be honest, they won this battle, and that pandemic shit really did it. They really did it with that pandemic shit was really sealed the fate. I feel because ever since that pandemic, they sealed the fate. But it is what it is. That right there made. Well, I remember when that because you guys gotta also remember when the pandemic happened. Never forget that. All the people that you've seen in your family that were acquiescing to the program, even though we're not at those times no more and we don't have to do certain things and we're the thing, always remember that they fell for it. Never forget that they fell for it. Never forget that. All the people who fell for it, remember, there's no coming back from that. You believed what they said. So I can't take you serious. You're an enemy. Anybody who fell for their tricks, even if you didn't get it, you believed it and you wore the things and you were for wearing it, you're an enemy. You're the problem. There's no way because that just showed you that whatever the government does, if it's the right thing, you're gonna fall for it. There was spiritual people out here that were talking like, oh, don't fall for the tricks. I remember 2019, everybody was saying 2020 is going to be the year of the awakening. Those same teachers that were speaking about don't fall for the government tricks. These were the same spiritual teachers that were talking, you need to protect yourself, and they were getting angry at people who didn't. You see what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. So fuck this shit. This is why I don't have respect for a lot of people because even though we're past those times, I don't forget those times. And don't forget that your family members, your friends, all of those people you knew that were for that shit. I'm telling you, like, don't forget that shit. They're an enemy. And it is what it is. Like, I'm through. But it is what it is though. Who cares? But we hopefully though, like, because I don't even want to say hopefully, because I don't think there's any hope left for this world. Like I have to be honest with you guys. Like the best thing you guys can do is get yourself right, do your shadow work, and create peace in your life. You can do that, and that's still a possibility. And that's the only mission. All this coming together, working together, that's all bullshit. It's too much people in their ego, too much people when they are just too narcissistic, too much weird vibes, too much weird energy. You can't do anything. Everybody's so closed off. Everybody's so scared about having their vulnerabilities exposed that they would rather just play it off cool and act like everything's good when it's really not. Like, everyone's very damaged right now, and we're living in a time where healing oneself is not really conducive. To heal yourself is to make time for yourself, is to actually show love for yourself. And if you're not showing love for the system and working 20 jobs to go and make money, and it's not even, I don't even want to say it's the jobs really, because I don't even want to say that, because you can still work 2 jobs and still take care of yourself, but you have to have a plan and you have to be strong. But the thing is, people, they want to be comfortable. Everybody wants to be comfortable. Everybody feels like, oh, I work 8 hours a day. When I come home, I have a right to fuck off and play video games, and I have a right to just relax. You do have a right. You have a right to do that, but you can't complain why your life is the way it is 3 years from now, because you didn't have to do that. You just wanted to do that because you felt that you needed to. Who told you you have to rest? Who told you you're supposed to relax? Who told you hard work pays off? Hard work does pay off, but at the same time, you don't look at it from a perspective like I expected. You just do what you got to do, and if it pays off, it paid off because you did it. It didn't pay off because hard work pays off. Just because I work hard and it pays off doesn't mean hard work pays off. It just paid off for me. There's people who work hard who this shit don't pay off. That fat ass bitch with 3 raggedy, stanky ass, snot nosed children. She works hard every day at Home Depot at the cash register. It's not paying off. The bitch is still complaining on TikTok how she can't afford a grape. So you see how it, don't look, get those preconceived notions of what you think life should be, and get that shit out your mind and just do what the fuck you need to do and worry about yourself and how it applies to you. Hard work pays off for you, it plays off to you. Don't have to sit there and make it a big deal like, oh, it's supposed to pay off. No, because you're going to fuck around and start caring about people and things that you don't need to care about. And a lot of people, they make their own bed. Let them lay in it. Because I see patterns in every single person, even down to family members. I see everybody that complains about the government, and I'm not saying like, I don't want like, I'm trying to, because I'm not saying the government is not something to complain about, but they complain, but they don't do the work. When I actually look deep into their lives, there's things that they do on a daily basis that they don't need to be doing, which is the reason why they're in that situation. Yeah, the government makes it worse. Yeah, the government does things and creates an environment to get people lost, but there's certain things you can do on your own to get yourself right. If that wasn't the case, then there would be no stories of people overcoming obstacles and becoming successful. Whatever you're going through, there was somebody who went through it that overcame it. If you are in a situation where you're down bad, whatever, however it is, there's somebody who overcame it, so you can do that, and you can do it even better. Don't get so caught up in saying fuck the government where you purposely make your life hell just to prove yourself right that the government makes the life. No, you don't want to prove it. You want to say, okay, yeah, they do some fuck shit, but we can still overcome this shit and still fuck them. Because at the end of the day, everybody had to go through, even the government had to, the people who run the government, there was a time they weren't in government and they had to create their own situation, and when they did that, it got them to where they're at today. It wasn't like the government was always in power. There was a time where they didn't have power, then they manipulated, they came together, they did what we're supposed to do, and then they called themselves a community, whether you want to call it Mason, Jewish, or they called themselves a community, and that's what fucking led to what happened here. So there was a time where they did what they did. They just used the power for corruption and evil shit. You see what I'm saying? We need to do that shit. They already did that. They were at one time they didn't run shit. They worked together, they manipulated, they did what they did, even if it was wrong and they killed people, they did what they did to be in a situation where we're at now. So we need to do that. Because at the end of the day, we're spirits in a human body. So it's not like they're special or they got granted. They did some shit that we need to be doing. The thing is with them, is they could come together, and they weren't in their ego to not come together. They, you see what I'm saying? People like everyone is like so like in their ego and divided because of the fucking. And I know they do a lot of shit to keep the division, but it shouldn't be to a point where it makes it impossible. There's still a possibility at this point. People just are just in their ego. Everyone that the thing is, everyone wants to be comfortable. Everybody's so traumatized, and so everybody feels like they need to attain some type of pleasure or fulfillment through being lost in their desire. And if they can't do that, then they don't feel life is worth living. So they spend their whole life chasing that desire of fulfillment in their life that they're never going to get unless they actually do the work. So this leads to people wasting their time at a 9 to 5, thinking they're going to somehow save up money and be rich and somehow strike it lucky. And after a long 5-day, 40-hour work week, I'm going to just rest and do the same shit for 40 years and I'm going to strike it lucky one day. And no, bitch, you're just going to end up as a regular average Joe. You're not doing nothing special. So yeah, people need to really come to this realization, because shit is crazy. It's crazy. Even when I see some of these homeless people on the street, like I see some of these homeless people, like some of these homeless people, they deserve to be homeless. I don't like to say shit like that, but some of these homeless people ain't shit. Like I feel like there's some homeless people out here based on their energy and their actions. That's the reason why no one gives a fuck about certain people. Like, cause somebody, you guys would sit there, oh, this person's homeless and all that. But when you really look at people's situation, like I like to look at the energy. Some of these motherfuckers, they deserve. They're just very wicked people. Like some of these people, if you gave them $1 million, if you gave them a house, they will burn the house down. Somehow they'll manifest the house. The appliances start breaking down. The house burns down. You give them $1 million, they're gonna go broke. A lot of these people, they need self accountability and respond and learning discipline, how to get out of their desires. They have to want to get out of their desire. But the problem with it is they think that people are so focused on what they feel like they need. What you need and what you want is shit that has been programmed into you. What you deserve is what your spirit actually is vibrating on the frequency based upon your actions and your intentions. So a lot of people are acting and observing reality based upon what they need and what they want. I need this, I want this, I need this, I want this. And some of these people, if you give them what they say they need, because they don't even know themselves, so how can they truly know what they need? So if you give them what they so-called need or what they so-called want, that thing you give them will actually probably make them meet their demise quicker. Just like with inflation, everybody's complaining about how a honey bun is like $4 instead of $2. But if a honey bun is $4 in 2024, and right now in 2024 we have the highest diabetes rates in history. Imagine if honey buns was free. Imagine if you want honey buns, you go to a store, get honey buns. Imagine if you want to just fucking, if hookers didn't charge money and they just fucking. Imagine how many STDs. Imagine how many people will be dying. A lot of people, what they think they want and need is actually going to kill them. A lot of people, you give them $1 million, they'll go out and buy a whole bunch of drugs and overdose. A lot of homeless, a lot of drug addicts, the reason they're not dead is because they're broke. Because they don't have enough money to go buy drugs. The moment that they go and get enough money, they'll go buy a fucking huge ass 8-ball and shoot that shit up and probably kill themselves. So the spirit's like, I'm not gonna give them too much money, because if I give them money, they're gonna go over OD. This is why you see some addicts out here, they be like hella old. The reason why is because they're only allowed to buy drugs probably one time a month with their social security check. Or maybe they do a little few hustles here and there to get a few dollars. They don't get to do as much drugs as they want, But if they were able to do as much as they want, they had millions of dollars or an infinite amount of drugs, they'll probably be dead. A lot of these people will be dead. A lot of your relatives who suffer from diabetes, if food was free, the top tier organic best food with just the best unhealthy food or whatever food, if it was all free, you didn't have to pay for it, people would be eating themselves even more, probably be dead from diabetes or even more chemicals and shit. So you got to look at life like that. Like a lot of these motherfuckers, like people just need to know who they are and what they need to be doing, and nobody can tell somebody that but themselves, because I haven't lived your life, so how could I tell you, and I haven't lived every waking moment of your life. You're the only one who did that, so I can't tell you what you need to do. Only you can do that. But people are looking for other people to ask them, how do I do this, how do I do this? And even with the whole content creation, and people tell, I can tell you how to get rich, or I can tell you how to heal your depression. No one really can tell you. They can guide you, but no one can really actually tell you. You have to actually do the work. I can walk you to the door, but you have to open the door. So that's why I just realized, and I just see, like, even when you see some of their attitudes be hella nasty and shit, and I'd be like, that's why you in the situation you're in. Like, you try to help people, and then you, like, there's one dude, he was an autistic dude. Remember the autistic dude that I had met? Like, I tried to help him out because he gave me some money because he wanted me to give him a ride and shit, and he gave me, like, he's kind of slow, so he gave me like $30 for like a fucking ride down the street, because I guess like he has a trustee, so somebody has to manage his money, so he's like 30 years old. He's around my age. So he gave like $30 just to drive him to the store, and because he doesn't know how to manage his money. He had money too, and then like I thought I was cool with him. I kept his ass around, and then like he needed a fucking, like, he needed a tent or some shit, and I got him one. He fucking lost it. I'm like, how'd you lose it? Oh, I went to the store and I told the guy, some guy asked me if he can borrow it, and I let him borrow it, and I said he could borrow it for a day, and he gave it back. I'm like, fucking dumbass. Like, and then he needed one because he didn't have nowhere to sleep, and I wasn't gonna let him stay where I was staying at. So like, and then I stole him a tent and got him the shit, and he lost it the same fucking day. Shit's crazy. And then and when I first met him, he had family that didn't want to help him. Like, his family, I'm like, man, your family's fucked up. Why don't they want to help you? Like, but then when I look at him and dealing with him, like, and it wasn't just a 10, it was other things that I fucking helped to do with it. He just fucked it up. Like, you'll give him, like, I sold him an MP3 player. It was like a Bluetooth set. I had a whole bunch of them, but it was a Bluetooth set. I didn't use it, and it was like a $50 Bluetooth set. I sold it to him for like $15. I was like, let me just sell it for $15. I sold to him. I got my money, everything. Nigga loses it like 2 days later. He loses it. Oh, I don't know where it's at. And like, I don't care because I sold it to him, but it's like, damn, nigga, you just lost your Bluetooth player. It's like, and it's like, sir, and it's like, it was an energy that he was dealing with, that catastrophe happens because I picked it up on him, and I was like, this peer person, you can't help him. He has to learn how to help himself. Maybe he has to just live this life making mistakes and then come back in the next life until he gets it. But he will get it, though. He will get it. But some people you just can't help. But if anybody don't got any more questions, I think I'm going to end this. Yeah, I think everybody. I dropped a live chat if anybody wants to go join and add on to what I was speaking about, because I said a lot of shit on here, and whatever you don't have to ask a question, but just whatever your opinions of what I said. But I'm gonna be coming back with some more Qigong, and Breath. I want to do a breathwork video. Somebody, one of my subscribers, asked me if when I was gonna do a qigong or breathwork video. I'm gonna do one probably in the coming week. I'm gonna do another one. I want to do a new one for you guys that you haven't done. Qigong breathwork. It's very important you stay on it. You want to keep doing it consistently. You don't want to just do it one day or every day. You want to do it consistently because that's really what builds up the energy. And when you do this is not gonna make you a breatharian like qigong and all this. Is a breatharian. That shit is deeper than I really thought. It's not something that everyone can do. It's something that you have to be. It has to be within you, and when it's within you, you know. And for you to even be watching my channel, you most likely can be one. It's not something that's far-fetched. Like, I'm willing to think anybody who resonates with the breatharian knowledge, you can be one. If you fasted, if you feel like you don't need to eat as much, if you're feeling like you eat junk food, and even if it's just a little, you have an inclination, you started the breatharian process. You started the process. And I don't like to call it breatharian, but like, because we're all breatharians, because we all breathe, but you guys know what I mean. You started the process. Once you feel that you don't need as much food, once you have a different conscious awareness about eating, and you realizing that food is not what you thought it was, you've tapped into the energy. So you have to just build on from there. But everyone, I think, should, um, if not trying to be a breatharian, consume as little as possible, because the government, they're going to be I feel like the government's going to be poisoning food. You see how they're having a lot of um recalls, like certain food they have to recall. Like there's like Tyson chicken has to recall 30,000 pounds of beef, or Tyson chicken 30,000 pounds of beef. They don't even fucking sell beef, I don't think. But you know what I mean. Like they're recalling all this food. That's because the government is poisoning the food. They're doing it on a very strategic level, and it's very strategic, and they're doing it in a way. This is why they when they poison it, they make a news article and they tell you, so it can kind of wash their hands from the karma, because they're telling you, be careful, you're eating the shit. But they are poisoning it, and they're doing it on a very strategic way. And this is why you really can't trust it, because they can, for all we know, they're producing food every day. So the food you get in the grocery store today is not going to be the same shit that you get in a year. If you go to the store and buy some chips, in 4 months, you could get the same bag of chips in 4 months. It could be a whole different recipe, because they're producing food and it's leaving the shelves and being replaced with different types of food. So just because the packaging looks the same doesn't mean it's the same food. This is why you guys say the food tastes different or the food shrinks. It's not the same size, because they're changing the food on a consistent basis. So you need to be careful, because I feel like they're gonna be poisoning food on a higher level, and they're already doing it, putting more chemicals, but to the point where it could cause people to get sick. Like they'll say, "Oh, it has E. coli on it." They did that on purpose. They did that shit on purpose. There's no, that's not coincidence. Like, how the hell can thousands of pounds of food get? That doesn't make sense. So you guys got to be careful about eating this fucking food out here. And like I said, as time goes on, the food is gonna get worse. I remember I said this couple years ago. Each year, the quality of the food is gonna go get worse. The quality of the matrix, the quality of the system is gonna get worse. It's gonna get to a point where there's certain food you see on the shelf is not gonna be there no more. You may not see a certain brand of food, chips or cookies, Chips Ahoy or something, or maybe some chocolate. They may not even have chocolate in the next 20 years or 15 years. They may have some chocolate substitute, because they can't produce chocolate no more because, or maybe they produce it, but only extremely rich people have it, or you have to pay an exorbitant amount of money. So now they're gonna have fake 3D printed soy chocolate, and you will eat it because if your ass has nothing to fucking eat, you're gonna be forced to like it. Like it's just like right now, the food doesn't taste the same as it did 20 years ago, but your ass still eating it. Because when your ass is hungry, you're gonna be forced to eat it. So all you niggas, oh, I don't want to eat. You're gonna, if there's nothing else to eat, you're gonna eat it. That, or you're gonna be a fucking fruitarian or a vegetable-tarian, eating just vegetables and shit. And even then, they might even poison that shit. Who knows? So have you heard of the breatharian Elatom Elami? Yeah, I heard about him. I heard about Elatom. Like he likes to base science too much. He gives too much credit to fucking science and like there's other breatharians that drop way more deeper shit than Elatom. Elatom, like I respect him and all, but he's very surface level on his shit. He doesn't even really go deep into the. I don't even really think he even knows how he became a breatharian. I think he just became a breatharian just because that was just his genetics and his fucking path, and because he doesn't even really speak deeply about it like other breatharians. They'll go into the science of it. Elatom really doesn't go into the science of it. That's deep. Like he'll say meditation is the foundation to be a breatharian, whereas that really isn't 100%. Like if that was the case, everybody who meditates is a breatharian. That's not what it is. Deeper. There's something in you that you either have it or you don't have it. And even when you have it, you have to cultivate it through certain means. And meditation could be a way to do that. But there's other breatharians who don't do what Elatom does, and they're a breatharian. So you guys got to look at it like that. Like, once my other page removes the other strike, I'm gonna put a community tab with this other breatharian. His name is Marcus Witt. Wait, damn, what's his name? Marcus Witt. It's some white nigga. Marcus. It's something Marcus. He's like a breatharian. I think it's Marcus Witt. He's like a breatharian, and he goes real deep into it. He doesn't. English isn't his first language. One thing that fucking pisses me off is all the breatharians that be speaking the most deep shit. They don't even know English, or they barely know English. Like they know they're like Italian, French, or Spanish, or some shit. They don't speak English as their first language. So when they make an English video, you can barely understand it, and then most of their content is in fucking their first language. So I gotta read subtitles and it's annoying, but those will be the ones who be dropping the deep shit about breatharianism. Like I don't think I know anybody who's a breatharian who's an American who's really on some deep shit. Elatom just quotes too much fucking science shit. Like I don't know, just but yeah, I heard about him before. I will get on live with my family members will disturb me. It is active in my house. I can join. Okay, for sure. That's good. This guy I'm about to get off anyway because I'm getting my phone's about to run out of batteries. Yeah, I'm at the mall right now, chilling. The mall. Yeah, but yeah, I'll probably go live again tomorrow. Some I wasn't even planning on going live today. I just something in me just I wanted to go live because like when I go live based on I don't plan to go live. I go live based on the energy. Like if I feel like speaking about something, like if I see some bullshit or I'm feeling a certain way, or like I've observed something, then I was like, okay, let me just make a video. And I just felt like making a video, something in me. Yeah. But yeah. Don't start that horn honking again. That nigga honked his horn. I'm like, don't start that shit again. That shit hella annoyed me, man. Like the beginning. If you guys see the beginning of this video, that shit pissed me the fuck. I'm literally gonna, cause I was before I went live, I was just gonna make a short or a 2-minute video, just speaking about how people ain't nobody spiritual and human beings are retarded. But I made that video 3 times and that horn kept fucking distracting me. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And then I go on like, let me just make a live. I go on live, that horn's distracting me. And then yeah, and then that's why I threw my water bottle at that shit. Oh god, that shit was funny. I threw that water bottle in the fucking car. I'm glad that nigga wasn't in the car. I made sure nobody was in the car because I don't know. I didn't want to. Because then they could have fucking. Because even if I did something in the car, if I threw it at his car and his ass came out and fucking said something, and then even if I would have defended myself, I would have started it. So like that's why I was like, oh, you should have thrown the fucking bottle. And like, I don't know why the fuck you letting your horn. I think he was doing that shit on purpose. Like, hey, you got that fucking 2024 Kia, and yeah, you know it's some shitty ass car like a Kia. Because anytime you see a new car in this area, you know it's like a Kia or a Honda. It ain't no fucking fly shit. So I knew the car was new, but I knew it wasn't nothing luxury because ain't nobody can afford that shit out here. And like once I seen that shit, I'm like, how the fuck is that shit honking? Like that shit needs to go back to get a factory reset or something. That shit shouldn't have left the assembly line because that shit malfunctioning. That cheap ass fucking Kia needs to get his warranty back. Yeah. But I think I'm gonna end this live stream, guys. But think there's anything else I want to say. I don't think there's anything else I gotta say, really. At least for right now. Yeah, but I'm in a good mood though. I'm in a good mood right now. Cause like I said, I've been doing my yoga, my qigong. I took a few days off of it, but yoga, I'd never miss a day with yoga. Yoga, that right there is like that keeps me sane. Yo, if I didn't have the yoga, I'd probably be in jail right now. If I didn't have the yoga, cause that shit keeps me sane and focused. It makes me because it actually helps the fuck out of me. Like, cause every month I feel mentally different. I feel more because as the knot in my neck it releases, I feel different. I see reality more clearer. I get more intelligence. I get more wisdom. I have more common sense. I can pick up on things a lot more because I'm accessing the mind that I've already had, but it was blocked. So I'm more aware. That's why if you watch my videos, and I'm gonna unprivate all my videos. I'm about to do that this week or next week, but I'm gonna be unprivating all my videos for you guys on my Chauncey One channel. I'm gonna be unprivating all of them, because that actually helps the algorithm. Because the more videos that I have, the more videos it's able to send out through recommendations, and then people can find my channel. So I'm gonna do that. But if you guys watch my old videos from back in 2021, you guys see how I am right now. I'm a completely different person. And even from right now, in a couple years, you'll see like it's my progress. You guys see the progress I'm going through. Like I'm not the same as I was 2 years ago. The way even the shit I was speaking about. That's why one of the reasons I didn't like about my old videos is because a lot of my old videos contradict how I speak right now. So I say a lot of things in my old videos that I don't agree with now. So take what resonates, but this is not a bad thing because it's showing that I'm evolving, I'm growing. If you're watching somebody and they're not evolving and growing, that's a problem. Everyone needs to be evolving and growing. In the next 5 years, I'm gonna be onto something more than what I'm on right now. Just like 5 years ago, I was onto something different. We all need to be evolving and growing. So I'm gonna unprivate all my videos. I'm gonna do that by the end of this month. I'll do that probably within this week. Real soon, I'm gonna do it. But guarantee by the end of this month I will be unprivating all those videos. It's just such a pain in the ass. Like YouTube, they do that shit on purpose. They make it so annoying to do certain things within their system because they don't like if you have 1,000 videos and you want to monetize all of them, you have to go one by one or do it by list, or it's some dumb shit. It's not a button that you can click to say monetize or private all of them. They don't do that. They do that shit on purpose. Like they play a lot of games with this whole YouTube shit. Even when they pay, that's why if I ever get super chat, I would never turn on super chat because if I had super chat right now, because when you get to I think it's like 500 subscribers, you get super chat. So my other channel, when it gets to 500 subscribers, I'm gonna get super chat. I'm gonna turn that bitch off because YouTube will only pay you once you get to a certain threshold. And usually that's like $100 or some shit. I don't know. I think it's like $100 or $50. It's something that they pay you. And if you get $5 super chat, YouTube won't give you that money until you get to the threshold. But they don't have a problem with taking the taxes from that money. So they don't wait to take the taxes. They'll take it right away, but they won't give you your money right away. So fuck those niggas. So that's why I would never turn on super chat. I don't even advise anybody to turn on super chat unless you have a established channel that's getting monthly revenue and you're getting checks coming in every month, even if it's like 200 a month or 100 a month. But if you're meeting that threshold on a monthly basis, and I think it's like $50 unless they raised it, don't turn that shit on because you're gonna end up not even getting your money. First of all, they're gonna tax it or they're gonna take out a fee. So if you get $5, you probably get like $4 and like 10 cents or some shit, or probably like $3.80. You're not gonna get the whole $5. And then after that, then you gotta wait to get the fucking money. Like fuck that shit. Just send me my shit through Cash App. That's how I just do Cash. I don't do that fucking super. I hate super chat. Cause somebody sent me a super chat on my old channel, and they fucking. It took me forever to get that money. I had to wait till my fucking threshold got to like $50. Yeah, so they be on some bullshit. So they do all this dumb shit. Like if you want to go on the studio account, there's certain things you can do on the studio app that you can't do in the desktop, or there's certain things you could do on the studio desktop that you can't do in the app. So I'm trying to access the desktop from my phone or tablet. They're just taking me to the fucking app. So I have to delete the fucking app to get into the studio, which they can just make us. They can make a button and say, "Do you want to go on the desktop site or do you want to go on the app?" They don't do that. So when you see little games like that, they're doing that on purpose to inconvenience you. Because you got to understand, anybody who's able to create a program as sophisticated as YouTube, they can't be an idiot. They can be a an idiot they could be a person trying to be an idiot or pretending to be an idiot, but deep down they're not really an idiot, because if you're creating a program as sophisticated as YouTube, you know everything you're doing. So when they make things inconvenience, they know what the fuck they're doing. Like they'll even switch it up. Like the fucking every now and then they'll switch up the, like they have live stream. When you go live on a mobile, you see the whole fuck. It's like you're going live. It's like you're watching a TikTok video. Like why the fuck would you make that the default? At least give people the option to choose. Why would you make that everybody has to look at that shit? That's fucking stupid. This is YouTube. People want to relax, watch this shit. Nobody wants to look at. You only make shit like that if it's people who have a low attention span who want to just keep scrolling. If I'm watching a YouTube channel and the guy's going live for 2 hours, I'm watching it like a movie. I don't need to watch it like a TikTok and keep scrolling up. That's fucking stupid. At least give you the option. Like they do dumb shit like that. Just like shit, like I said before, you can send a text message, you can send an email, but you can't get it back before they read it. Like, why can't you just put a feature where I can get the text message back? And you can't say it's because they don't want you to delete it, because anything you type on the internet, it's on their servers. Even if I type in "fuck Jewish people," even if I don't click enter, and I just delete it and I don't click enter, it's still recorded on the YouTube server, because they can see anything that's typed in, even if you don't click enter. So if you type in "I hate Jewish people" and you delete it and you don't click enter, and it's never been posted, the fact that you typed it in, it's still they recorded everything. So the reason that they don't let you get shit back that you send is nothing to do with their end, and they don't want you to delete it because they know everything. It's just they want to be dickheads and they want to troll you and make your life more fucking inconvenient using their shit. Fuck them. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna end this live stream, guys, and I'll hit you guys up later. But peace.